Okay. Rip Saturday streams. Yeah, be how be. All because one coworker decided to get drunk on a motorcycle. If I want your body, I'll come. Yeah, I saw the Game Awards were a thing. I did not watch the Game Awards. I was playing Frostpunk. Because I was like, I'll just watch all the trailers when they're uploaded to YouTube later. And I don't give a shit about the Game Awards. So it's like, nah, I don't really care. I'm going to be playing Depressed British People Simulator. And I realized that, like, if you know what to do and when to do it, the game is, like, piss easy to the point that, like, all of the fucking, like, dystopia aspects just become funny. Where it's like, oh, no, you had to sign the law to make children work. It's like, no, I had a surplus of everything. I just thought it was funny to throw them in the mines. What happened to Saturday streams? Shota got fucked over at work. A coworker of his lost his license, so he had to swap schedules with him. So, it's gonna be like that for a little bit. See, they made Papa Ken a drag queen. I have no idea the context of any of this. Like I said, I'm not watching the Game Awards, so I don't know what's going on. That's on Down on getting an adaptation. I think it'll be pretty good. Hey, it's free real estate, exactly. Sex 2 got announced. Yeah, who the fuck is Papa Ken? Like fucking, like Pa Kent from Superman? Would you own a pair of steel balls or silver balls? I mean, no, that'd be a horrible idea. How is your doggo? Iggy's getting sneaky. She's hiding in like different areas and freaking us out when we try to look for her. And she'll just pop her head out. She's getting sneaky. Clark Kent's dad. Man, what the fuck's going on with Superman? Yeah, sorry to hear Kentucky is the gayest state. Yeah, apparently, like, there was an official study done, and it was shown that, like, Kentucky by far is the most gay people in America, which is fucking weird to think about. No Duke, no Kentucky. Yeah, I finally made headway on the Gintama script. I hit like a wall where I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna like put this together? I finally got past that and into a good flow with it. So like, maybe look where I'm at. Yeah, maybe by like tomorrow should be done. And I can actually start getting to work on this, and I can get an intro done and everything. It's gonna be great. Not gonna lie, it was like full blown like writer's block where I'm like, what the fuck am I like? How do I segue into stuff? Oh, my Hank Steele, the real queer cowboy. Cyberpunk won best ongoing game. There's worse options. How can Kentucky be gayer than Cali? Yeah, right? So you had a block and then got Kentucky'd out of it. Would you like a Kingsfield remake? I never played Kingsfield, so I have no idea. This Saturday's my birthday. Bummer that's not going to be a stream. Oh, it'll be a stream, just not, a Shota one. I'll just flip what I've been doing. Where it's like, oh yeah, on Tuesdays I was going to do Baldur's Gate, and Saturday, normal. Now it's going to be normal on Tuesday, Baldur's Gate on Saturday. So there you go. So Sega basically reviving all their IPs now. Either there's a catch or they're on crack, or maybe there's a catch because they are on crack. They said fag when Last of Us won Best Show. I mean, yeah, that is pretty gay. Your Fortnite stream kept me sane during finals week. There you go. Saw Godzilla -1. Love it. Really great film. Like the ending, but made go bullshit in a way for one of the characters. There is a reason for that. They have been teasing what the sequel could be about, and that character might be tied to one of the kaijus. I'm trying not to spoil it because there are people who have not seen -1 yet. Archivist Star Control, $2. No Lego Fortnite stream. On a brighter note, as of today, I'm now a landowner. There you go. Take care of that. That can be a pretty penny for you. Kentucky's the gayest state confirmed. Now that means you eat KFC. It makes you a gay frog. Not Mothra. Not Destroya. Not very spoilerly thoughts on Godzilla Minus One. Liked it a lot. I also liked it a lot. As stated, my one flaw was like what dude said earlier. We're like, wait a minute, how the fuck's that character alive? Turns out that is going to be pretty crucial for the sequel. Because if you pay attention to like a thing on their neck, it kind of spoils what the next kaiju could be, along with some of the statements they're making. Where basically, I'm not going to name drop any context. All I'll say is they're kind like it'd be safe to hedge your bets that it's going to be Biollante. So if you know what Biollante is and then like the context behind Biollante, you might be going like, oh, you motherfucker. But guarantee most would be like, wait, what? How does that work? Because everyone knows it's just the big plant monster. It's going to be an interesting sequel. Yeah, genuinely makes me wonder, like, are they going to follow through on this? Or is this just a red herring? Because, like, it would be fitting for it just to be a red herring and let the main guy get his fucking happy ending. But at the same time, this could also be pretty interesting. We haven't seen Biollante in, like, fucking 20 years. No, more than that. Like, 30 at this point. Godzilla Minus One's the best Godzilla we've gotten in a while. One of them. Definitely one of them at the very least. It's up there with Shin. Like, I think Shin is the best one if you want, like, a 50s style, you know, early first-gen style Godzilla movie where it's about the government trying to respond to the kaijus and focusing on, like, bureaucracy and stuff like that. They use a lot of the old sound effects, a lot of the music. Godzilla's practical effect. It's pretty cool. Minus One is very, very good for, like, a modern version. Where it's basically a refined version of what Legendary's been doing, and it's great. I haven't seen Biollante in 34 years. Exactly. Didn't we see Biollante in Final Wars? I believe so, because the entire gimmick of Final Wars was they brought, like, every kaiju together. Is Biollante fuckable? I wouldn't recommend it. Godzilla vs. Biollante in 1989 was released on VHS by HBO Video in 1992. So, yeah. What about Anguirus? Nah, it's not teasing Anguirus. No, Biollante was not in Final Wars. Oh, okay. Yeah, Final Wars had no Heisei era. Okay. Yeah, Shin Godzilla was 7 years ago. Yeah. Have you seen the Godzilla analog horror? The entire reason I would watch, like, that to me seems so two completely different genres. Like, analog horror is kind of supposed to be, like, small scale, like you're stumbling into an investigation thing, cursed tapes and all that. Godzilla's very in your face and existential, like, how the hell do you even kill that thing? That to me just don't mish. That don't mish. Personally, I want more villains in the Japanese Godzilla movies. I mean, aside from Ghidorah, Mothra, Rodan, Mechagodzilla, we haven't seen anyone else in 20 years or longer. Yeah, so far it's only really been Godzilla who's been the bad guy. Which, I mean, you know, makes sense, but still. Ghost Metal Season 2, yeah, I heard it got announced. Which, I mean, everyone was expecting. Can they even go full ham with kaiju fights? Minus One was more realish. They can definitely lean into it. You know, say you went about 2014, but that showed you can do kaiju fights and not have it be, like, really cheesy or anything like that. You can make it feel like you're a fucking ant watching two gods fight. Should I watch every single Godzilla movie? That's up to you, but there are highlights. So if you want, just Google the best ones, you can. Who would win, Gorilla or Godzilla? That's the thing. I watched Godzilla vs. Kong, and Godzilla won. Like, it kicked Kong's ass. It only didn't finish him off because he respected him and then, like, just walked away and let him die. I hope Megalon's in Godzilla X Kong's been 50 years since we've seen him. Oh, you mean New Empire? Could be. They're teasing that there's going to be another kaiju. Could be interesting to see what they got, because, I mean, they have a lot to pull from. So if they want to do Megalon, if they want to do Anguirus, like, You know about Naoki Urasawa? Yeah. I fucking loved the Pluto anime they did this year. It was fucking great. Yeah, Godzilla knew he couldn't finish the fight, so Kong let him win. Exactly. In the battle of lizards versus monkey, lizard always win except in anime. Lanky Kong about to bring the whole planet down. Yeah, Godzilla's like twice the size of Kong. It's putting like a welterweight with a heavyweight, no contest. Yeah. And they had to like size up Kong from like Skull Island because they knew it's like, yeah, Godzilla would whoop his ass. Gintoki, a good boy, needs to stop staring at Kagura. He has never once had perverted thoughts about Kagura. Rotisserie $5 uses donut for the snake skin in Fortnite when it drops. That's on the Fallout TV show. I checked out the trailer because I thought like, the screenshots look okay. I was already like, nope, this is not gonna be good. Like they're talking about, you're gonna see an origin for the Vault-Tec Pip-Boy, like the actual fucking Pip-Boy on the. It's like, who cares? He's the fucking mascot of Vault-Tec. Nintendo canceled their event because they put the World Live event on the day of Infamy. Oof. Godzilla's so big that if he existed, he dropped it anyway. Well, the whole fun of kaiju movies, the science like that doesn't work. Kong even pulled up with a strap and he still couldn't win. Yeah, he had a fucking axe and he still couldn't win. Hope you know how to cook and lift weights occasionally. Don't want to end up like Destiny. Yeah, I saw that. Like Destiny divorced his wife because apparently it's funny when you first hear it, but then you actually look into the context of it and you realize, oh wow, his wife was like emotionally manipulated out of that marriage where the guy she was with was threatening to kill himself if she didn't divorce him. So it's like, okay, that's legit kind of fucked up. But on that point, that's 100% on Destiny, where it's like, why didn't you step your foot in and go like, hey, no, get the fuck out of here? You know, it's like, really, this is, he was all the whole like, oh, well, open marriage is fine. Our relationship's fine. We both bang people all the time. And now it's like, you're seeing the consequence of that. Where like, yeah, you're eventually going to run into somebody who's fucking crazy. She taunts him by posting with a gay soy boy. Yeah, the soy boy is the one she ran off with. The one who, as stated, threatened to commit suicide. So it's like, she didn't fall for shit. She liked the attention. I don't know. Something about that is like, the entire situation to me just seems like, man, nothing about this is pleasant. And it's 100% on them for trying to be like, oh, nothing bad will ever happen. And then turns out, yeah, something bad very much did happen. I've seen the Alan Wake musical performance on the Game Awards. Yes, I know that the band that plays the In-Universe band showed up in costume for the performance, which I think was pretty cool. Here's the Vault Boy origin. They told an intern to make a mascot during his lunch break. Yeah, it's like, you don't need to put like time into it. If Destiny kept a lock on his wife, he wouldn't be surprised. Moral don't be this wouldn't have happened. Moral don't be a bitch. Well, it's like, yeah, it's have basic respect for each other and don't go sleeping around. John won. Yeah, John did win. John won in multiple ways because apparently there was a stream where Destiny's playing with his son, and his son's like getting to be like a preteen now, and he started like taking jabs at his father and going like, you make politics hard to take seriously because you just play video games. And it's like, god damn, this kid's getting a little mouthy. And then you remember the whole context of their relationship. It's like, that kid's gonna fucking hate Destiny when he's an adult. Tyler Lepper for $20. Good to see you, man. Really enjoyed your Apocalypse Trilogy videos. Yeah. As stated, I almost got the Gintama one ready. That one's gonna be boatloads of fun. Ready or not, we'll leave early access on the 13th. Good. Fucking fantastic video game. Pizza Tower was robbed. They gave some no-name soy boy the award for indie games. Origin of Vault Boy. Mark, can you make a mascot that is an anthropomorphic vault? Yeah. Boys like him don't respect a weak man. Well, it's like, it's more tragic than that, where you find out there was another stream where Destiny told him to his face, yeah, if I didn't respect your mother enough, I would have let her, like, I would have pushed for her to get an abortion or something. Like, told this to his kid, and it's like, all right, are you just fucking autistic and you don't understand that you don't say that shit to kids? It doesn't matter if you think that's honest. Like, you're being a fucking retard. Ouch. Yeah, he completely fucked his family up. As stated, that's why none of this surprises anybody. It's like none of this surprises anybody, because it's like, dude, you did this. Like, this is the result of your road, and in like 20 years, when you're 40, actually, I think he's like he's in his 30s now, so he'd be in his like 50s. He's going to look back on his entire life and realize how much he squandered it. Like, sure, you have money, you have clout on fucking Twitch and all that, but your kid will hate you. So, yeah, that kid was fucked from the start. Yeah. He had such an ego, he'll believe he did no wrong. Yeah, he'll be sitting in his house all alone. All the kids' appearances have some riff or insult to this Tiny for the last 3 to 4 years. Yeah, because he's getting to that age where he's becoming aware of his relationship with his family. And he's realizing, like, holy shit, you're a fucking piece of shit. John DSP win every single time. Every single time. Hate saying it, but he'll wonder why his family never visits. Unironically. Greg Destiny fucked up his life. Good readings. Hope the kid leaves him ASAP. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I feel bad about. I feel bad about the kid. Reading some of the stories of, like, what you know, how Destiny basically left him to go to LA so he can stream. It's like, man, there's just some shit you don't fucking do. You know? Maybe it's out of line to talk about, but at the same time, it's like, man, you know, family's important because it's the thing where in 30 years from now, you look back on what you have, and yeah, friends come and go, but people that are, like, in your circle and is your family, that's the shit that matters. Plus, they're the next generation. They're literally carrying on your name, your lineage, your blood. Like, Zim Despot, $5. Only one game looked good from Game Awards, a samurai game called Rise of Ronin. Yeah, it's the one that Ninja Theory's working on. It looks okay. They'll show to add me on Fortnite so I can grind levels in Lego Minecraft mode. Destiny isn't alone. He has internet friends until the monitor turns off and he sits miserable in the dark. I fucking hate H-Bomber Guy Smear and IH. All the brainless came out to play stupid games to do it. Well, that's the best part. It ended up blowing up in their face because they gunned after Wendigoon. They gunned after... they started talking about gunning after Wang and Meat Canyon. People caught on to that where it's like, wait, what the fuck does Wendigoon have to do with all this? And people say, like, oh, well, Wendigoon shouldn't have even responded. And yeah, you can make the argument of it. But him coming out and going, hey, don't fucking slander me, you know, for... Don't fucking slander me and call me a neo-Nazi kind of got people's attention where it's like, wait a minute, why are they going after Wendigoon? And then they see they're offshoots of H-Bomber guys who felt justified after the Internet Historian video. Get the feeling it definitely put some dampening on the sales a little bit. Fucking Gamer from Mars did a video talking about the video, and he specifically had a segment where he was talking about people's backlash, and it's like, brought the Stop Skeletons from Fighting guy, bring up 420, and it's like, wait a minute, we're going to gun after him for a 420 weed joke? Like, are you kidding me? And everyone kind of realized, okay, this is turning into something it was never supposed to be. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good how it kind of died out because, once again, a lot of the breadtube types went too far, too fast, and ended up stepping on themselves. Twitter saying they hate Wendigoon for Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah, they hated him for a while for it, and Internet Historian, you know... It's the thing where they say, oh, it was only a 20-minute segment, but that 20-minute segment gave justification to start the mob. So, what did an historian do? If you watch the H-Bomber video, he stole the Man in a Cave story from some article written by a guy named Lucas Riley. Completely plagiarized it, passed it off as his own, never told anybody about it. You know, he's a Nazi. He made fun of DashCon 7 years ago. You know, blah, 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 blah. You know, the thing is, a lot of people were coming out and going, hey, wait a minute. This guy has cited his sources in every other video. Why would he plagiarize this one? That doesn't make sense. So a lot of people kind of came to the conclusion of, we probably hired like a writer that fucked him over, because that's the exact same thing that happened with Cinemassacre. They hired a script writer who ended up plagiarizing something and let them hold the bag. So, and it was a non-issue that was 6 months ago. Yeah, because he worked it out with Mental Floss, the people who own the article. He worked it out with Media, the people that own Mental Floss. Lucas Riley says, well, he never contacted me. It's like, because you sold the article. You sold the article to Mental Floss, and they're the ones that hold the copyright for it and the IP for it. So they have to contact him. Would it be nice if he talked to him about it? Maybe. But the point is, he's not obligated to. He's obligated to talk to people who are threatening to sue him. Wait, how is IH a Nazi? Because he has fans that make anti-Semitic jokes, and he made anti-SJW jokes in the past. I'm not kidding. That was justification. This sounds really sketchy. Yeah. Oh, it gets sketchier. It gets a million times sketchier. IH isn't a Nazi? Unsubscribed. Comments arguing for content property laws is funny. Yeah. And a lot of these breadtuber types seem to be reaping what they sow. A lot of them are aging way too fast. Maybe it's the way they take. Yeah. Enough how these people never do actual research. Well, that's the thing. It's like, now they're trying to say he ripped off the Costa Concordia video, which their proof is it's 2 sentences in the video, which if you look at it, it paraphrased some Vanity Fair article. And it's like, who the fuck cares? It's like, at what point are we disregarding everything else he does in the videos? Because I just watched the wine one, the one he did about wine, and I was halfway through the theater one before I realized I needed to start streaming. And it was like, there's animation to it, there's added jokes into it. Like, anyone arguing that like he just ripped it off some article and is reading the article word for word, it's like, no, there's a lot more that go into these videos, man. Also, the video has a lot of sources, including the ship's black box. Exactly. It's like, you know, at what point are we going to allow the petulant circle known as BreadTube, who, now that it's become a pejorative to talk about BreadTube, they don't want to be associated with BreadTube anymore, despite them all still clearly being connected, and they're all through the website Nebula and this and that. They prop each other up. They suggest videos to each other. They all have the same political leanings, this and that. Why do they get to dictate everything? It's like, I was reading some stuff about it on Kiwi Farms, and one of the comments was from a dude who was like, well, even if he's a piece of shit, you know, saying don't touch the fire is a good idea, because at least it's objective, you'll get burned. And one of the best responses is, I would rather take a blowtorch to my face and burn it just out of spite to these people, because even if they say something as universal as don't stick your hand in a fire, it's never for good reasons. It is never for good reasons. It is always, always for personal gain. So it's about figuring out what they're trying to get out of this. Shit like this makes me hesitant about doing a video analysis or video essays because of this. Literally just put it in the description, or put like a little text box in the video just saying, hey, I got it from here. If it's not like college accurate, no one's going to fucking judge you, because it's like, who fucking cares? BreadTubers get fed so hard through the algorithm. That's the interesting thing. So, okay. I'm cracking my back. Because it's going to be interesting. So, I had a sneaking suspicion for a while that the entire video and how popular it got was artificial, because something about it felt off. For one, I don't trust H-Bomber Guy. He is the embodiment of BreadTube. By principle, I was like, I don't trust you, motherfucker. I don't care. And it turns out, so the actual main subject of the video was not everything. Internet Historian. He's only like a 20-minute segment. The actual main subject of the video is a guy by the name of James Somerton, who is another lefty frickin' video essayist who talked about like how Transformers are gay. Cult Person 9 for $2. See the F-Light Valentine leak announcement? I did not. Well, this James Somerton guy got called out for plagiarism, and apparently he is like just an unashamed plagiarist. Will flat out copy and paste entire reviews and pretend like he wrote them, that kind of thing. So the thing is, with this James Somerton guy, he ended up getting the majority of the video. It's like 2 hours long explaining his shit, and it's pretty in-depth. Well, the thing is, they knew about James Somerton being a plagiarist a lot longer than they say, because if you just go into the video and believe it, it's like, oh, they discovered about this not too long ago, and they got the video together to call him out. No. Natural state depths for $5. In regards to destiny, I've always believed once you have children, it's no longer just about you anymore. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just human nature. But basically, this James Somerton guy, like a year ago in December, was trying to get in on Nebula. Now, as stated, Nebula was kind of a site where a bunch of breadtubers are connected through. It is specifically their kind of alternative website, sort of like Rumble, sort of like BitChute. It's a place for them to specifically post their videos for their audience, and a lot of them paywall their shit. You get a lot of money being tied to Nebula. They offer contracts. Well, James Somerton was trying to get into Nebula and got denied. Around December of last year, making it almost a full year now from when all this shit kicked off. It might have actually been before when he started raising a flack about it, but December is when you can find a lot of archives for shit. Wait, Nebula's a BreadTube site? Yeah, a whole bunch of them over there. So, the thing is, James Somerton was making waves about how he was denied. It's like, well, why am I not allowed? Don't you want like queer creators on this? And was like talking about how other queer BreadTube people were denied from Nebula, and was trying to accuse them all of homophobia. Well, a person by the name of Catlow, who apparently is associated with the actual Nebula, like, is apparently working for the site itself. That's kind of under wraps, but apparently they directly work for Nebula. So she ends up kind of catching wind to that, and in the response saying, hey, fuck you, we're not homophobic, this and that, what have you, immediately starts dropping hints of plagiarism. Immediately. So the safe thing to assume is, okay, so they knew about his plagiarism. Was it a thing of he was rejected because of the plagiarism? Because it's like, that would make sense, Plagiarism can lead to copyright debacles. It can lead to issues. I mean, we saw that with Internet Historian. He got struck for it. So it's like, okay, maybe they denied him for plagiarism, but at the very least, they seem to be aware of it. Merlot Williams for $5. Don't know much about H Bomber Guy, but Miss America said guys like HBG might have trolls remorse from being involved with ED, the Farms, and Medicare. Oh, 100%. Why are they called breadtubers? It's just commie YouTubers. The joke is breadlines. They tried to change it and be like, no, it's actually based off A Feast for Bread, which is a communist book. Everyone said bullshit. It's breadlines. Well, the point is, Catlow was immediately dropping hints that he was a plagiarist all the way back last year. So, cut to a year from now, out of nowhere, they drop a video talking about how he's a plagiarist and he's a piece of shit, and now the guy's gone full delete fucking everything. He wiped his Patreon, he's taken out his YouTube, he deleted all of his social media, he's getting the fuck off the internet. Because not just H Bomber Guy, but also Todd in the Shadows, and if I remember right, some other people are making videos about him as well. Let me get a drink. So I kind of was thinking about all these factors, and I was like, okay, this seems like a targeted cancel. And the fact that the H Bomber Guy video is getting so much clout from it, a whole bunch of views. He jumped something like fucking 8,000 patrons in like a day from the video alone. And I was like, what the fuck? It's just an H Bomber Guy video, and everyone agrees he's like just some douchey little fucking like lefty fag. Well, Catlow, the lady I talked about who's already dropping hits about the plagiarism, is also a producer for H Bomber Guy. Catlow also has a history of being involved with big tech sites like Google, YouTube. Like, it's on her LinkedIn. So, it's very possible they artificially propped up a campaign to get rid of James Somerton because he was causing problems for Nebula. That's my current theory at the moment. That is my theory. I will wait until more shit comes out about it. But a lot of the factors coming out made me convinced of it. And people have said I was crazy for it. People said I was crazy, and it's like, dude, that's not how that works. All these people aren't even friends. To which I said, that's bullshit. They are clearly friends. Like, Jenny Nicholson, within the first minute, was talking about how great the video was when it was uploaded. She knew beforehand. Todd in the Shadows outright said, yes, we all knew what he was working on. He knew beforehand. Now, think of it like this. So, they knew for over a year that this guy was a plagiarist. James Summerston made a shitload of money. Despite being in, like, the few 100,000 subs, he made a fuckload of money off what he was doing. Now, obviously, that's all gone because he deleted everything. Dr. Homicide, $2. Lolly, how comfy is tinfoil? That's what I mean, yeah. Know what the difference is between a conspiracy theory and the truth? About 6 months. Well, James Summerton made a shitload of money off this. So, even though H. Bomber Guy pretended to be so outraged over plagiarism and is like, well, that's just theft. You don't respect who you're ripping from when you do this shit. They knew this guy was plagiarizing for over a year and didn't do anything about it. Now, the current argument is, well, they were getting the video ready. They were getting the video ready. To which I will say, it does not take a fucking year to make a 4-hour video. It just does not. There is no reason for it to take that long. If the issue is genuinely that important to where this guy is ripping people off and is making thousands of dollars doing it, you would very obviously want to get that addressed as soon as possible. You wouldn't sit on it for months on end. At the same time as that, you wouldn't drag in other unrelated people. Cinemassacre and their plagiarism handled months beforehand. Illuminati, already exposed as a plagiarist and a piece of shit. Everyone already knew. The one Games Journal guy he brought up who just copy and pasted articles from IGN, he's been fired for like 3 years now. So they artificially inflated the video with all these fucking dudes who were already talked about, already addressed. Internet Historian's the only one you could argue was fresh, and even then, that was more of a personal hit job, where H. Bomber Guy was whining that DashCon was made fun of because I guess he swam in the ball pit, the pee and rubber-filled ball pit. And it's like, okay, so the time you were taking, making fun of, going after all these other people, you could have been using to bring awareness to this guy that plagiarized. So once again, this feels more like a targeted cancel instead of actually trying to address the issue of plagiarism. So that's just kind of how I see it. Also, the IH issue was resolved months ago. Exactly. It's like, there are people grooming kids on these sites, and people are too focused on IH plagiarizing an article and the issue being fixed 6 months ago. Well, this is what I mean by it kind of blew up in their face. Of course, right now, numbers-wise, they're fine. It's like, oh, yeah, it's all good. They made a bunch of money and traffic off it. But everyone's kind of saying the same thing, where it's like, dude, why the fuck does anyone care if IH made a 420 joke? Like, who cares? If you go into, like, an IH video right now, there's a whole bunch of people spamming so what article did you rip this from? And his own fans are going, dude, shut the fuck up. You're just repeating what H. Bomber Guy said. It's like, yeah. You see the FF16 DLC is dropping tonight? Yeah, could be good. Could be good. Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year. Is that good? Worth a purchase? Or is not for everyone? Baldur's Gate 3 is really good. I think you'd enjoy it a lot. Replayed Persona 3 earlier today. Named my character Freddie Mercury, and I quickly remember what the ending of 3 was. Aww. So, alright, let's for 2 fake monies. Next stream, play Cracked Racks. Careful song. Check KF first. What did James Summerton do to piss off BreadTube? As stated, my current theory that right now it seems like there's some factors lining up to it is he was trying to accuse Nebula of homophobia for rejecting him. They made some hints that they already knew he was a plagiarist and held off on that for a year to finally officially cancel him. Why did they wait a year? That's speculation. So maybe they wanted to wait a year to make it seem like they weren't just canceling him for accusing them of homophobia. I don't know. At this point, you see some YouTuber I like try to drop in their 2 cents. The H Bomber Guy situation reminds me why I don't follow him on Twitter. It's only really bad when they try to, do the whole, well, if you make Nazi jokes, clearly you're a Nazi. It's like, you don't want to go down that road. Have you read the manga Ajin Demi-Human? In my opinion, it's one of the best underrated villains of manga. It's okay. I only checked out a little bit of it. H. Bomber Guy tried to claim Colin Moriarty was fired from Kind of Funny for being misogynist. Yeah. threatened him. Maybe they threatened him to get his shit in order but didn't play ball. I don't know. Este, this is now officially in the realm of we have to wait for information to come out. Like, you gotta wait for shit to get leaked before you can start, pinning more of the shit on the dartboard together. So H was just kind of caught in the crossfire rather than intended target. Yeah. H-Bomber guy took the opportunity to gun after people he didn't like. And ironically, because of that, he might have fucked himself a little bit. Pepe Sylvia. So did James Somerton go overboard? From what I understand, he didn't really do anything that different from what they do, which is, oh, you rejected me from a business opportunity? Well, guess what? You're a homophobe. It's like, yeah, I mean, what do you think of John Tron constantly winning? I mean, he has the song, John Wins. That's on Wasteland 3. I never really played Wasteland. Alright, moving it over. There we go. Okay. John Wins. Meant scrubbing his life away. I don't know. My only assumption is because of the attention brought onto him, he's trying to hide something that he really doesn't want out. Because, I mean, plagiarism is bad enough, but you can survive a plagiarism scandal. And the thing with BreadTube is every fucking one of them has something in their closet. Will you ever be sponsored by Dollar Shave Club? One of their razors almost cut my face open in the bath. Fuck them. Have you seen God of War Ragnarok getting free DLC? I don't care. What are the chances this might cause Sting and H-Bomber's viewership not necessarily losing a good chunk of his subscribers, but enough for a metaphorical black eye? I don't know. As stated, this will depend on what the next few months will happen. Because, like, the way YouTube cancel campaigns usually work is there's the big sudden strike where out of nowhere the artillery hits and everyone's like, what the fuck's going on? And there's a lot of scrambling. And it's usually afterwards, get out of the way. It's usually afterwards that people start kind of using their head more and going, okay, so this is what this has been all about, that kind of thing. Solomon's got him $2. Sato is a gamer and cooking and cooling and better than Dog Woman. Yeah. The irony of BreadTube is that they would be the first person executed during an actual communist revolution. Oh yeah, one of the dudes in the Discord had like a whole fucking Excel spreadsheet of BreadTubers and their Patreon earnings, like the public Patreon earnings that you can look at. And every single one of them on Patreon alone didn't dip below 5 figures. It was insane. Like, they are making an exceptional amount of money doing this shit. Now we're gonna wait. We gotta wait. When do you think BreadTube will cease to exist? Oh, it's... With the fact that people already know that they have shit hidden in their closets, fucking ContraPoints had that famous quote of like, oh yeah, I know about sexual predators in the BreadTube community, but I'm just not going to say who they are. Within... I can't give like a dedicated time slot because you just never know with genres on YouTube, but it's absolutely going to be a thing. Every bubble pops. The Excel list, JEB was making like over 200K. Yeah, it's fucking insane. You could be making mad bank if only you LARPed as a BreadTuber, bro. Yeah, right? Just talking about, like, queer sexuality or some shit like the Smurfs, and then you could be making tens of thousands. Isn't Hassan related to the Chunk Uger guy? Yeah, he's his nephew. Jontron loses the debate, but he won at life. Yeah, and the only reason he even lost is because Destiny does that stupid thing where he's just the spurgy know-it-all kid in class where he just talks over you and gets you frustrated and then uses you being frustrated as proof he's right. Why so many people, or rich people in communism? Because it makes a fuckload of money. You make a fuckload of money pretending to be a commie. It's the greatest irony. Up His Own Ash is gonna be the new Kojima game with Jordan Peele. I don't know. It could be hilariously pretentious, though. How Berserk is actually a gay power fantasy. Yeah, right? It's like... That's anime girls in sailor uniforms. I mean, they're okay. Doesn't he have better debating tactics at all? That's the thing, is like debate tactics are fucking stupid to begin with. It's like that you never actually get anything done. You just yell over each other, and then everyone who agreed with each other already agrees with you. It's like, no, my guy won, and it literally just amounts to what politics you agreed with to begin with. Makes $40,000 on the video. Yeah, right? It's like... As much as we don't want to admit it, we are the minority in regards to, like, culture. You know, dumb kids love the BreadTube shit. They love the fucking heckin' inclusivity, wholesome Reddit crap. It's like they haven't grown up to realize that everyone they're watching is like a fucking horrible human being and a sexual predator. It happens eventually. It's just part of growing up. Part of growing up is realizing that the people you watch on TV are pedophiles. Am I saying BreadTube is made of pedophiles? I definitely think more than a few of them. But not all of them. Some of them just rape women who are sex trafficked. Why do you have a whale? Because he's a good whale. I love my whale. Even Bruce Campbell? Yeah. There are a few times someone definitely lost debate, namely what if Althist fumbling debate with Vosh. Yeah, I mean, it's just, to me, internet debates are just jerking each other off, trying to sound smart. Is that Brendan Fraser? Part of growing up is realizing that thing poking you while you sit in Santa's lap isn't a toy. Yeah. It's fucked up, but that's how the world is. Rapido 10K, 2K10 for $2. Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year. Prepare the bear fucking on stage. Thing is, we gotta wait for the party to form in order to even... Did you play Ace Combat if it has Kosk in it? I played Ace Combat. Online debates are useless and waste time. Their established audience say their guy won. The way I view online debates is like, anyone who went to school during my generation or the generation before and the generation after, you might currently be in school. You know when you had those like test prep classes where they didn't teach you the information the question asked, they taught you how to rig the test, basically. Like, oh, just watch for the wording in the question and then pick, you know, if need be, just, you know, guess. Just guess. You're more likely to guess if you pick a certain letter. Like, literally telling you, fuck it, just guess on standardized testing and stuff like that. That's what I view a lot of debate shit as. The idea is you're trying to find ways to sound smart without actually ever being smart. Solo up a base for $2. I can't believe Kojimbo OD'd on stage. It's times like these remind me of the hard-hitting quotes. My favorite being the Gandhi quote, "My balls hurt, homie. Real bad. Real bad, homie." Jimmy, pull up the clip of the bear fucking that guy. Rapes women who have been sex trafficked, then talk about how sex work rights. Yeah, right? People nowadays want to be smart when you usually need wisdom to help balance the shit out. Yeah. No, wisdom and common sense. If I was in a debate, I would just troll. Yeah. Hard to take a lot of it seriously. I've seen that Destiny doesn't like Hassan now. Yeah. I get the feeling that they're trying to get rid of... Hassan's whole thing is he's so entrenched as one of the big figures that you can't really disavow without fucking your career up. Because that's it. All these people share money. All these people fucking share money. They share cloud. They can claim they're not connected. And no. You know, we're not even really a thing. BreadTube? What's that? That's not a genre. But they're all fucking pretending to be friends with each other. Like, they claim there's no association when there's very obviously fucking association. Diego Torres for $2. Have you seen Motherfuckers yet? I keep seeing previews of it. It looks good. I just need to make time. I need to make time to sit down and watch it. It looked cool. YouTube acting up again for you? Nothing on my end. Seems like it's purely just YouTube. Destiny hated him for a while. He thinks he's a moron. Oh, it has nothing to do with whether or not he thinks he's stupid or not. There's a financial incentive to playing nice. I guarantee none of the BreadTube people actually like each other. Why do you think they fuck each other over all the time? One of the biggest mistakes people had when arguing about this shit with like BreadTube and stuff like that is they don't protect each other because of politics. The politics are just a sign you're part of the group. They protect each other because there's financial incentive to do it. As stated. There's the sheet that one of the guys in the Discord made, where it went through like all of their public available Patreon earnings, and this is just Patreon. Doesn't factor in YouTube AdSense, doesn't factor in money they might get from Nebula, doesn't factor in merchandise, doesn't factor in sponsorships, doesn't factor in... This is one vector of income. Not one of those motherfuckers was less than 5 figures. Meaning, at the very least, they were making tens of thousands a month. So, once again, there is financial incentive to play nice with these people, pretend to be their friend, and then get in good with them. This isn't even talking about the fact that they have ins in big tech. As to Catlow, the producer of H-Bomber Guy, used to work at Google, used to work at YouTube, used to work for big tech. They have insiders that can prop you up artificially. It's one big circle jerk. Follow the money to see the why. In the words of The Wire, you look for drugs, you find drugs. You look for money, you have no idea where that leads you. That's why I'm convinced of this. It was all secretly a cancel op thing. Where it's like, no, this was something bigger. This is something bigger. This is not just, well, these people plagiarize, so fuck them. It's like, no, there's personal connection involved here. My theory on how it's going to end is that one of them is going to fuck it real bad for the rest of them. Well, Israel-Palestine's kind of showing that, like, there is a big schism among these people, among, like, far-left types, where they can't really decide if they're pro-Israel or pro-Hamas. Like, H-Bomber Guy's fans have been shouting the whole, like, decolonization, pro-Hamas shit ever since October 7th. And in the fucking video, canceling all the plagiary people on YouTube, is talking about how Internet Historian made anti-Semitic remarks. So it's like, okay, motherfucker, do you want to go down that road? Do you really want to go down that road? Because all it takes is somebody with a little bit more bloodlust than you sniffing that out and going, well, why aren't you disavowing your fans? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? It will happen. They're all fighting to be the biggest fish in the pond. That's why they're okay with their fans going after Wendigoon. Wendigoon openly showed from day one he wasn't really, going along with this stuff. Like, he's libertarian, former Boogaloo boy, Appalachia boy, highly religious, just got married to his wife. I mean, very much a trad lifestyle that they don't approve of. So first chance they get, they're gonna fucking get rid of him. It's basically one big union without being a union. Reminder that before 8th of October, all these people were perfectly fine calling you an anti-Semite. Yeah. Isn't BreadTube filled with the Nazis they hate? A lot of them are people who claim they were part of the Nazi pipeline in like 2015. It was kids who watched Filthy Frank. It was just kids who watched Filthy Frank. It's all performative. It's new generation. Well, you want to be cool, don't you, crap? What's funny is, don't they think if they push hard enough, people won't dig through their dirty laundry, that their shit magically disappear from the internet? Why do you think they were so desperate to get rid of Kiwi Farms? Because that archives all their shit. I love it when people call people who are married and have kids incels. Yeah. Yeah, Xanderhall, or more accurately, Slanderhall. Didn't that pipeline cause the first apocalypse on YouTube? It wasn't even a fucking pipeline. Like, there was never a pipeline on YouTube. What? The whole thing is, what kicked off the first apocalypse was, if I remember right, I'm trying to remember which one was first. It was either Elsagate or Pewdiepie getting called a Nazi. But the claim at the time was PewDiePie is fostering an alt-right, audience, all this, blah, 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 blah. The thing is, even back then, that is what I'm talking about now. It had nothing to do with politics or talking about a pipeline. It was intimidation, slander tactics to shrink the pond so they could take control. So they could be the ones that are the insiders at YouTube that get to make policy and influence, get the insiders who will help them out and get the money. Once again, you're dealing with a union, so you have to understand union politics. Hassan sort of looks like Steven Crowder, just saying. I mean, if Wendigo wanted, he could make a hit piece in every single bread tuber, just the information from Kiwi Farms. A lot of people could. There's a lot of people who do, but they don't want to deal with their fans because their fans are a bunch of dumbass kids. And they'll just dox you, report you, spread child porn to you. I mean, they will just do whatever they can to get rid of you because they feel like they're the good guys and they're fighting the evil Nazis. Like I said, look at it now where they're openly talking about like, ooh, let's go after Wendigo next. Let's go after Wang next. Let's go after Meat Canyon next. Like listing off people they want to target for the issue of like mild slights. Remember when he tried to talk shit about Mahler and said he would appear on stream and pussed out? Yeah. They don't like confrontation. That's why they rely on their fans to just be fucking rabid animals. Wasn't the whole Candid situation add to the apocalypse as well? Candid was definitely a factor of it, but Candid was more about the terms of service, AI, because it's literally an AI. Terms of service / copyright bot that's fucking people over. Candid specifically trained it. Actual Nazis used the tactics BreadTube used, only instead replace Nazis with Bolshevik communists. Yeah, it's just propaganda. What the fuck did Wang ever do to anybody? As stated, it's just a list. It is just a personal list of gunning after slights. And Wang, despite being a lefty like them, he made some more than obvious hints more than once about it. Still has just enough edge to him to where they want to get rid of him. I thought some were Kaden and his reactions to your Some Ordinary Guy video, Aged Like Milk. I have no idea why he decided to defend cuties. I have no fucking idea why. Oi, mate, you got a license for that flying whale? Fuck off, Brit Bong. And Wang on a concert for his band. Cool dude. Yeah, he seems like a chill dude. And that's how you know the people going after him are fucking crazy. Wasn't Wang always a far fucking lefty too? I don't know about far, but as stated, he's made some pretty obvious hints. It's like, yeah, I believe he's probably left-leaning. First Apocalypse was PewDiePie Natsock sign. Second was Elsagate. Third was PDF ringing comments. Oh, okay. Which the Natsock shit was bullshit. Do you see how a bunch of Marvel DC guys went after a comic shop guy for losing his shop because of the alpha product? People aren't having this cancel culture stuff anymore. Yeah. Well, like the thing people were saying is, dude, this is the guy trying to sell your product and he's saying it's shit. It's like, bunny girls or cat girls? I'll flip a coin. It depends on them. Did you see the video of the gang members running into another and making them strip and then to work at a gas station? Gangsters are gay. Yeah. Wang is friends with Dick Masterson. Maddox still mad at him as evidenced by his hit piece on Wang, followed by a 4-hour essay on his side of the story. So it could just be another case of guy has the right connections to fuck somebody over. Okay. Is Wang a live and let live type of lefty or the standard? He seems like live and let live. As stated, he's into some stuff to where he knows if he ever tries to get moralistic about it, he is fucked. So he seems pretty chill. Winter Lame, $5. I don't think BreadTube fans are ready for their attribution to go after people like IB, Wang, and Wendigoon. What they're currently doing, and as stated, that's why it blew up in their face. Because people saw it's like, okay, so this has nothing to do with plagiarism. You just wanted to gun after people. I mean, hell, like, they're trying to celebrate that Internet Historian lost, dip down below 4 million subs. But the thing is, with context for that, he was at 4,040,000 some odd, and he lost 50,000 subs. So now he's technically at 3,999,000. I'm trying to act like that's a big victory. And all I can think is, like, compare that to Jim Sterling, who has consistently bled for years at this point, and has, like, dipped lower and lower to, like, every YouTube threshold. Like, people are waiting for the below 700,000 sub special. And it's like, yeah, no, you still get that one. You still get that massive fucking... You get that massive L right there. He lost 20K, not 50K. No, it was definitely 50K, because that state he was at like 4.04 mil subs, so that's 4,040,000. Plagiarism angle is not a good one. If YouTube does decide to crack down on that, good luck making a video without some kind of strike. And that's the reason why I was so like, hey, let's not fucking do this from the get-go. Like, YouTube has so many different arbitrary rules that it's honestly easier, and this is not even bullshit, it's honestly easier to just make a public access show than it is a YouTube video. Because YouTube has so many different fucking rules that can fuck you over, so many different ways you can get screwed, that it's honestly easier working for television. That's something that Zach from Only Plays outright said. It's easier to write for television than it is for YouTube. So with this BreadTube shit kicking off a campaign about plagiarism and citing your sources like a fucking college student, every single one that was on the Internet Historian side said, well, in college, my professor would hand that back to you. He's like, who gives a fuck about college standards? When you overtake Jim in 4 years, how will you celebrate? I got plans. Losing 50K subs when you have 4 million is a true deck cheer off the Titanic in terms of how little it is. Exactly. They were expecting like a James Charles lost 12 million in the span of an hour type shit, and that's just not what happened. Roles that the top YouTubers begged for. Yeah. That's how it always is. You beg YouTube to make a new rule, and they find a way to fuck you up the ass with that rule. That's why we need to stop begging them for rules. Wang strikes me as an old-fashioned liberal. You're clearly an old man. Just watch the live streams. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, too. It's like mid-2000s liberal. So he destroyed the world, but at least, like, of his generation, they didn't know it at the time. It wasn't out of malice. They just didn't... They didn't realize what legalizing weed and watching Jack Black would do to society. Bill Clinton Rabbi Kid's been spotted. He's been doing it again. Good. In your opinion, what makes an aesthetically pleasing character design-wise? Just want some opinions from people for something I'm working on. So... It's gonna sound weird, but a good sense of symmetry. Like, I'm mainly thinking about it in the sense of, like, women, you know, because, I mean, female characters pretty obvious. You know, a symmetrical face, not a lot of laugh lines, very, very, like, I don't know the right words for it, but having good proportions, having good ratios for them, you know, it's something that you can't really describe without just pointing at a picture and going, that. Look at naked women and take notes of what makes you aroused. Not even like that. Like, don't do it from arousal, because that can just lead into fetishistic territory, and fetishistic territory kind of can lead to you emphasizing too much to a degree of like, this is just off. If you're not looking at it from the angle of porn, it just kind of looks off, and it's like, whatever. Look at what you just think aesthetically looks pretty. If they're a silhouette, yeah, identifiable. Well, yeah, I mean, that's like for you know, recognition and how marketable a character is, but like in terms of actually making them like aesthetically pleasing or attractive, it's more complicated, you know. Oh, we're in the middle of a fate. Let me get out of that. But cummies. Yeah, but if you're making something for the public, it can't just be what's up to your standards. It has to be something that kind of follows the, I guess the golden ratio is how it's described in Japan, where there's like an actual mathematical formula to what makes something aesthetically pleasing or not. When it comes to pleasing characters, some people like Dead Rising 2 off the record, Frank, and he's meant to be ugly. Yeah, golden ratio is what you're thinking. Yeah, I stated. Like, there is actual math put into it. Symmetry, rule of 3/3. Yeah. I guess that my bro into reading Hokkaido Girl is super adorable. He hated my dress up, but this made him a Marine fan. I'm still mocked him for taking fan service too seriously. Alright. Recently finished Hammer Frankenstein series. Pretty good. Peter Cushing is amazing as a doctor. Peter Cushing was just a great actor. Punnett squares and Fibonacci sequences. People do forget the anime that has disgusting fan service made for Japanese teens, not 40-year-old shippers who have nothing in their lives. I mean, they say it's disgusting, but they have a hand down their pants when they're saying it the whole time. A lot of people bitching about fan service are shown to be complete fucking degenerates. Like, I think it was either on stream or in Discord, someone said, I've not seen a single person whine about fan service that's not been some furry who's into scat inflation. And it's like, you know what? You're not wrong. You see leftists seething over Godzilla making big money on Twitter. They seethe about anything. I'm going to make characters average looking but still stand out in, I don't know, obnoxious way. But average looking, but as they don't be afraid to pretty them up, you know? Not fetishistic like what some people say, because at that point you can start dipping into like, you can start dipping into it looks good to you, but everyone else sees it as something else. It's like, no, just general prettied up, hyper reality people. It's okay to do stuff like that. Scat inflation or scatflation? Let that haunt your nightmares tonight. Yeah. Sex, violence, debauchery, lolly. How degenerate. I'll take 2, Othello. How disgusting, Crinkle's diaper. Yeah, that's kind of the thing where there was like a call-out post from somebody. I don't know if they were like a furry or they just go to conventions. And they were saying like, hey, yeah, can you like leave the butt plug at home? You don't need to wear fetish gear at a convention. And like the reply underneath that was them going, I swear to God, I'm going to get like quote tweeted 20 times with people calling me a fucking Puritan. I checked the quote tweets of the OP, and yes, every single one of them was like, well, I didn't realize you decided it needed to be a church event. It's like, dude, he's just asking you not to wear sex gear in public. Tomorrow world peace could be announced and lefties still complain that Israel's yet to pay for it with a sign or something. Yeah, right? It's like, they quite literally do not enjoy anything, and they only want you to be miserable. Alright, yeah, I turned off the whale music here. I'm going to turn it back on. There we go. We be in that part of 14 where we're waiting. We're waiting. How can I push my ideas if you aren't miserable? More importantly, how can you get money if you're not miserable? Reminder, this all comes down to money. Money is the great motivator of the world. Almost every single crime in human history was tied back to money in some way. B character designs making every male character Conan, female character the chick from Ergo Proxy. My only complaint about ecchi shows that monster girls are just moe blob with fangs, long ears, and scales. If Cronenberg's The Fly was female, she'd be a chibi. I mean, the whole thing about ecchi is like, yeah, they're supposed to be sexually attractive. Like, you don't want, you know, Cronenberg's The Fly. You're trying to make it look something appealing. How about when humanity had a bartering system? Greed. Still led to it. People liked having gold. People wanted the biggest ox in the village. People wanted the most water from the well. I mean, it's like human greed. It's one of the 7 for a reason. Is jaywalking tied to money? It can be. And it's a saying, money's the root of all evil. Mm-hmm. Ergo Proxy is one of the big three when it comes to anime up their own asses, the other two being Evangelion and Lane. But at least Ergo Proxy's cool. I think that Roald Dahl would regret his career of being an author who saw the punishment for Violet Beauregard would balloon into. See, that's the thing. We genuinely have to ask, are all these fetishes new, or have they always existed? Because, like, historians straight up found, like, giantess porn from, like, Japan in, like, the 1700s. So, weird kink shit has been around in human history a lot longer than we realize. So... So we might be reaching a point of, like, I don't know the right word for it, but the existential dread of, oh god, have we always been like this? Inflation shit's been around ever since the Venus of Willendorf was created, oh god. Internet socialism and the new snake oil salesman, they see a problem and use it as a get-rich-quick scheme. Oh yeah, 100%. There's Oni fetish woodblock carvings from the 1600s? See, this raises a question, then. How much of mythology was stuff actually believed of by human beings, and how much of it was just hentai porn before the internet? Because, like, a common thing... A common thing talked about with Dracula the novel is how sexual it is. It's a very sexual book, and, like, vampires are considered to be very sexual creatures. Were people jerking off to Dracula even back when it was first published? Caveman gooning to fart porn cave paintings. Oda Nobunaga's giantest Oni girl drawing stash was uncovered. Look at the 8-foot-tall woman. Tell me they weren't just jacking it to it. In the case of the Greeks, I'm guessing nearly all of it. Mary Shelley fucked on top of her mother's grave. You know she wanted the monster to resize her pussy. She also helped her husband kill his original wife. The Goon Cave. People were jerking it to Betty Boop in the 30s. Yeah. I've always been depraved, but the internet's absolutely made it worse. That is true. Because it's introduced the depravity of the few to the masses. Do you like Godzilla as the villain, hero, or anti-hero? It depends on the movie. Shin Godzilla -1, do him as the villain, fantastic. King of the Monsters, he's really, really good as the anti-hero. Worse and more acceptable. And more accessible. What did Mary Shelley do? Yeah, she fucked her husband on top of her mother's grave and apparently conspired with her husband to kill his original wife who was pregnant with his kid. Greek Amazon mythology got pretty erotic, like the creators wanted a Dami mama to step on them. Mongols were in the necrophilia. They raped the bodies even if they were far gone. Oh, God. Every time some YouTube historian talks about Mary Shelley, they always make her story out to be a feminist icon when reality bitch was pretty weird. Oh, yeah. I mean, like, there were female authors even before Mary Shelley. As much as they go, like, you'll never make it in this business. You're a woman. Like, that comes down to the classic, it depended on the company and the individuals involved. I think the thing with modern society is lost shame. Before, people at least would try to hide their weird stuff. Now everyone acts even proud of their kinks. That is true. Heracles canonically bedded the queen of the Amazons and to fight his way out of their kingdom and after Hera threw a fit. The bitch was weird. So a feminist icon? No, there's a Japanese yokai that exemplifies the piss fetish. TLDR, fisherman spares giant clam girl, and clam girl rewards him with piss soup. British were also into fucking rotting corpses. It's just the fact that the corpses were alive and called their wives. Genghis Khan conquered large chunks of the world in search of a Dami mommy he could never find. The Phoenicians had a myth where their tomboy goddess of war and sex, Ishtar, was stripped naked while walking through hell. The Bible says the ideal woman is a conservative tomboy, and because it was the Middle East, they were dark-skinned, so canonically, dark-skinned tomboy are the ideal women in the Bible. That explains why, like, white husband, black wife marriages seem to go very well. Is this chat's animal facts moment? But mating with a shape-shifting vampire counts necrophilia or bestiality? Well, if you watch the Francis Ford Coppola version, you get your answer. It's both. See the college heads who said calling for Jews to be genocide would not violate their guidelines? As stated, hammer this home with a lot of the lefty bread tube people. Hammer it home. It's like, oh, you're gonna start calling for the death of Jews? And if they want to preach the decolonization thing, just say, hey, that's a Nazi dog whistle. People are sending each other kisses. I'm gonna find these people so we can get right next to them, and then we can keep talking about mythology and fetishes. They're somewhere around here. We're gonna be like those people at like a restaurant where the two people are trying to have like a date and have a good time, and we're just talking loud enough for them to be annoyed, but they don't want to say anything because it still is like, well, they are right next to us, and you know, they don't want to make a problem of it, you know. Greek gods are really into their fetish stuff. Zeus fucks everyone. There's a little Lalafell Santa. That guy's dead. Whisper the otter facts next to strangers. Venus of Willendorf is literally a BBW statue. Ancient people were as degens today. Now, see that reminds me of the green text where it's the caveman like carving like one of those like fat women statues and goes, "Be Oog, Oog carve this, Oog say it's your mom." Cut to 5,000 years later, historians now think Oog has fat fetish. Is that Lalafell playing 99 Loaf Balloons? I'll see the Lalafell Santa thinks we're gonna join. No. We're gonna keep talking about our messed up conversation next to Loaf Balloons. Venus of Willendorf is the statue. Oh, is that the statue from the green text? Okay. If you're looking to have a nice date, you came to the wrong place. Now let me tell you about the history of fart fetishes. Canonically, the oldest your mom joke. I miss Medicare. He never finished Deviants. He's in remission. He is in remission. It was the days where death machines had porn on the side of them. Yeah, that is literally just Loaf Balloons. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. I don't know what part of the song they're at. Venus statues weren't always fat, but they always had massive titties and butts. Start yelling about otter rapes. It's confirmed he's in remission. Apparently, they've been posting about it. Dolphin will kill fish, bite off their heads, and use the body as fleshlights. Yeah, dolphins are fucking weird. They're in the final verse. Yeah, it does sound slower. You're right. Talk about how a girl shit on your chest by a chick that looks like the girl the guy was dating at the other table. Alright. 2 seconds. I gotta cut off Loof Balloon so I can check Streamlabs. Alright, there we go. Oh, god damn it. Oh god, no. I hate that song. It's like the I fucking hate that. All I imagine is Jim making a deal with the devil like the end of Constantine. You will live, John Medicare. You will live. Make my way downtown. Yeah, I fucking hate that shit. The fucking white girl song. Well, George, here's our new bomber. What should we paint on her nose? I got this picture of Frank's wife in lingerie. Can you make her tits twice as big? The thing is, soldiers back then would absolutely do that to fuck with their buddies. I have no idea what killed them, but, you know. So much text. Why are you singing like, I would walk 1,000 miles and I would walk 10,000 more? Remember the song of White Chick, Sexual Harassment for Terry Crews? Always fun. Played Fuck Like a Beast on that once. That's pretty good. I clicked on a video titled The Genius of Hiroya Oku, and the video literally starts with a hate anime fan servers. I'm gonna hit my head against the fucking wall. Why would you praise Hiroya Oku and then in the same video talk about how you hate fan servers? That doesn't even make sense. The guy's like an unabashed open pervert. Like right now, all he's doing on Twitter is making AI-generated images of his characters from like Gantz and Gigant and all that, and he's just like, hey, I made this. It's I would walk 500 miles. Oh, okay. Bye, bye, Miss American Pie. It has been an hour and we're stuck waiting for this. Know what that one Spanish night that got raped by a tribal woman hunter? Play the piano, man. You fucking hack. What are we waiting for? We gotta... One of the main quests is we have to do this. If we're lucky, it's just a super boss, and we might be able to go fight him on our own. Let me leave the duty finder real quick. So here, let's try this. Yeah, unrestricted. Because it seems like right now, Limsa's full of a bunch of teenage girls, and they're doing like RP shit, and that's gay. Let's go fight God. Honestly, Japan has an obscene number of female monster girls. Japan is based. They are. I like the music already. I always like throat chanting like that. I always think it sounds cool. Who's the best girl in One Punch Man? Short girl's sister. I think her name is like Fujimaki, the sister. She's pretty good. Also, Tomboy girl is pretty good. There's a lot of really good women in One Punch Man. My limbs, it's a bunch of Hirats ERPing. Yeah, Fubuki. Yeah, Fubuki. Sounds like something from Zone of the Enders. Yeah, it's great. Sounds too much like Yoko Ono having a stroke. There's a difference between good throat singing and Yoko Ono. It actually is. It actually is a thing to point that out. All right. Okay. Tornado's angry wife material. Yeah. I say there's a lot of great women in One Punch Man. Best girl of all time? I don't fucking know. Oh god. Gonna stack up on my buffs. I am tank. Oh shit. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. Major Kusanagi, she is pretty good. And it's gonna take a while because we are not DPS, we are tank, so we don't do that much damage. If I got a better weapon, it'd probably go a lot faster. Let me see what I got. Level 60. So yeah, we got like the max level weapon we can have right now, but still. Final Fantasy production value is always top notch. Always, without fail. Also, Irishman has finally gotten a PC. He has finally gotten a PC, and you wanna know what the first fucking MMO he downloads for the fucking PC is? Despite me and Shota telling him to download Final Fantasy 14 for fucking years on end. Just take a guess. Just take a guess. Go. WoW. Everyone said, yeah, everyone guessed WoW. Yeah, World of Warcraft. He downloaded World of Warcraft Classic. And we were so pissed. It's like, god damn it. And now he's super into World of Warcraft Classic. And it's like, you motherfucker. They waste money on pre-built? Not even that. He was given it by a buddy. Because the buddy wants to play some other game with him. I think Siege. What kind of coochie upgrades do you think Major has? It depends. They're probably like slot in, slot out, because she does sleep around a lot. The Major really likes to likes sex. Because in the manga she had like 2 or 3 different boyfriends. Standalone Complex, she had sex with a nurse and her friend. 95% sure she's fucked Bato more than once. Go. You're saying I have a chance. And ironically, on a good day, I can take his place. I'm great for healing and RPing. Ignore that last part. I did not ignore that last part. You are now called out. No, you don't. You have a chance to jerk off to her. Owned. Oh shit. He's a clicker. He clicked. I did click. Oh fuck. And SAO, why couldn't the guy with the STD get a Robocock and not afford one? I'm not even gonna lie. I watched SAO through for the video I did on it. I don't fucking remember a single thing about SAO anymore. I'm just like, holy shit, I'm impressed how much that left my brain. I remember bits and pieces. I remember in like season 2, the Elfhelm one, it had the weird incest thing where the guy wanted to fuck. It wasn't like her brother, but like a relative of Asuka wanted to fuck her. And it had like the tentacle scene where like it totally wasn't like Berserk where he was molesting her in front of Kirito. And I was like, oh wow, this totally isn't Berserk. Ow. How do I get the feeling I'm supposed to be fighting these things? Ow. I'm fucking begging you. Oh my god. Yeah, DPS usually handle them. Yeah, that's kind of what I had a feeling about. Alright, well. Okay. So upside, we got a damage buff from that. Downside, we got our ass kicked by an old man. That makes me sad. Best dog, pet companion in gaming? Roach and Witcher. That horse carried me for hours. There we go. See a new trailer for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? I did not. Is that a new anime or which one is it? You get a buff, you get 3 orbs. Yeah. Oh god. New Budokai game, basically. Oh, okay, okay. That could be fun, then. The Dragon Ball fighting games are great. I see, I don't run into those. I guess Guilty Gear Strive's finally coming back after being dead for who knows how long. Give it time. Arxis will find a new way to piss everybody off. As much as they say, oh no, Strive is fine, Strive's doing just fine, like, no, people were pretty fucking sick of Strive. Oh god. We should fight the god with a group. It wouldn't let me. We were waiting for almost an hour straight waiting for a group. We do what we gotta do. There we go. People keep going off about fantasy beats technology and technology beats tech. Meanwhile, I just want my orc cowboy with 50 cal revolver. Travis fine, lol. I think they made a new DLC waifu just trying to get people back. Wouldn't even be surprising. Because, yeah, I mean, that Bridget thing burned them a hell of a lot worse than they ever want to admit. They're never going to admit how much the Bridget thing fucked them over. Because it kind of was emblematic of a lot of the hypocrisy they were doing with Guilty Gear all around. Where it's like, oh, so you want to appeal to, like, this crowd, you know, the global standards crowd, and you're, like, hiding shit about Taiwan because you want to suck up to fucking China? Ugh. We can do this. You would have gotten a party if you offered panty shots, just saying. Didn't you see fucking Limsa when we were there? It was all teenage girls playing music. They were playing the Making My Way Downtown song. It's like, there's no way on God's green earth these people are men. Oh, there's a game sponsored by Sweet Baby Inc. at the game show. Oh, that's not even surprising. Which fucking one? Oh, God. So you curious about the character design question from earlier? I'm working on a story inspired by classic horror. The main gal is the daughter of a vampire hunter. Have black be her primary color. Because it's cool. Go. Bridget ruined PR, happy chaos, ruined gameplay. Yeah. Come on. More of a foothold. Trying to kill a vampire with his identity issues. Wonder if she can scalp her old man. Make her color black. Or red. No. No. Get him out of here. Guards. Seize him. Marvel amounts to Blade game. Are they just going to say fuck it and take all the ideas they had for the Blade movie into the game? Because it's like, boy, howdy did they fuck that up. Alright, come on, losers. Ow. They are focusing me down. That's on Black Goth Girls. I've never seen one. I'm starting to believe they don't exist. Ow. I'm spamming a roar like a motherfucker. Come on. Arcane Bethesda are making a Blade game. Don't know how I feel about that. Could be interesting, but I don't know. Blade style of fighting is so over the top that, like, if they want to do Prey style immersive sim or Dishonored, I don't know. There we go. Ow. What the hell is he doing? Ow. Is it okay to send a Christmas card to you and Shota? That's fine. We got a P.O. box for a reason. So now we've been buffed by 20%. Third-person action game? Okay, so that's not the worst idea. Oh god. What do you think of Baldur's Gate not letting you mod the gateway? Yeah, as stated, the thing with Nexus mods is they have shown their hand, and it's like, hey, if you want to mod shit out of games, you now have to go to like third-party ass forums in order to keep shit up. It shouldn't be, but that's just how it is right now. So if you want to make like mods to mod out gay characters or mod the race of characters, you have to hide it in other mods. Don't make a fucking public spectacle of yourself. You will fuck it for everybody. It shouldn't be like that, but that's how it currently is. ModDB. ModDB also has shown that they kowtow to pressure. It literally has to be some obscure-ass fucking forum that nobody's ever heard of. And you have to prop them up. Ugh. Come on. Come on, rape scenes and how can you not the gay? Oh god. I'm stuck. Ow. Double standards for BG3. Double standards in general, like they have shown, yes, if they feel like they can gain something from propping you up, you can get away with literal murder. It's like we are aware that's how the game is being played right now, so we need to stop going, you know, all my double standard. We need to stop pretending as if that's not what's going on, and you gotta start propping up. You gotta prop up the old ways, you know. I'm reminded of the guy from Killers of the Flower Moon, the old native guy who's like, you know, when we took that money, we should have known something came with it. Because that was white man money. You know, that wasn't what we were taught, you know. It's like that kind of thing. Yeah, go back to the old style internet. You know, prop up old-ass dirty forums where the mods are probably like 5 people in Croatia. It's like, stop kowtowing to temptation first chance you get, because every time someone goes, oh yeah, I'm going to make my own alternative, they fuck it up and end up being exactly as much of a spurg as the guys they're fighting. At least give us a guide to avoid gay romance. They patched that out. It's now a lot harder. The characters will flat out tell you, like, 1, you have to work harder to get their affection points up to trigger romance, and 2, it's a lot easier to opt out, and you're not gonna have to worry about like them getting mad at you. You might get a virus, but you'll get really good mods. Exactly. That's how it should have always been. Just make sure your antivirus worked and you were all good. I mean, I say that, but I'm 95% sure the reason I caught like a Trojan not too long ago was because of fucking downloading the movies off of an old-ass, like, abandonware site. Well, Napoleon disappointing, even the director's cut's gonna struggle with that one. As stated, I'm holding off all opinions until I see the director's cut. Every time with Ridley Scott, when he makes a historical movie, you wait for that. You wait for the director's cut. Shit. Wake me up when somebody gets the PC4 Tales Symphonia running at 60. Use a virtual machine with that shit. Would be smart. Is director's cut coming to Apple TV or physical? I do not know. I miss the blatant fuck you mods from back in the day, like the windmill of peace flag. For bully, yeah. Apple TV is what I heard. Okay. Ugh. There's a civil war in the 40K fan base. Wonder I haven't seen an art vid about it. Yeah, they're whining about gatekeeping again, and they're like it's a thing where I repeat there is a way to kind of catch them with their own standards and embarrass them. It's like there was some fucking like I guess like 40K figure or someone who was like posing as like an orc on Twitter. I don't know. They have like a you know the NFT monkey pictures. It was like a parody of that, but it was like an orc from 40K. And it's like, for fuck's sake, saying someone's, sexuality isn't a political statement. And I just quote tweet him with, well, if you remember, like, even saying something is not political is in itself a political statement. So, technically, it's like, and I had a lot of fun with that, where it's like, I've just grown to not like 40K at all because, oh my god, the people involved with it are fucking autistic. There we go. Here we go. Do you reckon Sony could try and off Charlotte fucking up Griffith's plan process? I don't know. Estee, we're in that period where it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell any spoilers. There we go. Now it's dead. Oh god damn it. So, kill them all before a certain time limit, otherwise he activates Judgment Bolt and wipes you out. We're going to be throwing our head against the wall until the buff decides we get to win. I like 40K and I completely understand why someone would hate it and the fanbase both. You're better off not getting into it. I'm aware of 40K. I know bits and pieces. It's the fact of, like, getting into larger aspects of it. I'm just kind of like, this just kind of frustrates me because it's the same joke over and over again. Same joke over and over again, and now you have a bunch of, like, faggot Twitter people trying to make problems. It's like... There we go. They have an entire squad of fire warriors to build. Report Loli for throwing. Cousin was the incest for Kirito. Dude was just a creep in her fiance, I think. Oh, okay. Yeah, if I remember, I think like Asuka came from like kind of a rich family, so it had like an arranged marriage or something like that. Ow. Alright. Fuck you. Yeah, political marriage, yeah. It's Asuna. You've been saying Asuka all this time. I genuinely forgot. I forgot her name was not Asuka. I thought it was yeah. I thought it was that. As stated, I have forgotten a lot of details about Sword Art. When's a new chapter for Berserk? We do not know. Don't trust anyone whose name has Asu at the beginning. There we go. What classic horror thing is your favorite, i.e. Forest, Skulls, Silence, etc.? Probably, I think it depends. Depends on the monster. If it's like, you know, vampires or something like that, classical gothic, that's usually pretty hype. Like, I love the whole fairy tale gothic horror aesthetic in Resident Evil 8. That's part of the reason I like that game so much, is like, god damn, the visual design of this is fucking killer. Oh. Asuna is Kirito's wife, technically. Don't they actually get married after a point, or like, I don't know. Which is better, orcs being all guys or orc being all women? It depends on your interpretation of orc. Like, Tolkien, the orcs have to be all men because they're supposed to represent Cockney British people. Like, literally, because the entire idea is that Mordor was like industrialized England. And it was stomping on, like, you know, old peasant folk living in the countryside. Oh god. That's kind of funny. Yeah, it is until you find his statements where Tolkien said, yeah, I consider myself an orc because of what I did during the First World War. It's like, goddamn. The Moonlight Child's influence, Griffith now asks if every meal comes with a toy, despite where they're eating, comes really happy one does come with a toy. Tolkien was a soldier? Yeah, he fought in World War I. He based some of the characters off people he served with. Like, I think Samwise was directly based off a friend of his. Come on, fuck it up. Okay, so that one is more... There we go. There we go. Took him out. Oh, god damn it. He wrote most of the story in the trenches of the Psalm. Yeah. Like, Tolkien was legit. He saw some fucking things. God damn it, I need that. He fought in the Psalm, one of the most violent battles of World War I. Yeah. This music is killer. It really is. It's really good. Final Fantasy always has good music. There we go. I can kill this last one. Oh no. Fuck you. We didn't see some fucked up shit back in those wars. I heard both conflicts were downright brutal. Yeah. The beginning of the industrialization of war. I thought playing the Neptunia games. I played a few. Yeah. Hyperdimension Neptunia. Well, time to die. Yeah. We can do this. The buff needs to just arbitrarily let us win. Streamlabs, well, give me a sec. Alright. Spazzy4856 for $1. If sacrificing your firstborn son to Mormons will make it so that Berserk can get done 5 years early at no expense to the quality, would you? Maybe. I don't know. I imagine all wars are awful. That's some profound statement right there. I imagine war in general is not very fun. Christopher Lee's fucking wild. Director tried to say he wasn't being realistic when he had stabbed in the scene. Christopher Lee said it's accurate because I've done it. Yeah. Jeff Keighley said nigga live on stream. Good. There's that wars back in Rome times don't have those mental problems. Oh, they very much did. They just accused you of cowardice and executed you. There we go. War is le bed. Tolkien was a linguist and wordsmith, thus I think Tom Bombadil was just him flexing, and there's no other real reason for that character to be in the story. Why wasn't that recorded? Because as stated, they wouldn't like differentiate it. It would just be cowardice. It's like, oh, he tried to run away, therefore we execute him. The only reason we know it could be linked to PTSD is because there were stories from like, yeah, World War I, and I think even before that, and like the Civil War, where they would talk about like guys would just start flaking and going nuts. It's because, yeah, PTSD. They just didn't know it at the time and assumed it was cowardice. My great-grandfather escaped a gas-filled tunnel in World War I and watched his squad pray to God for saving him, only for them to get killed by an artillery strike moments later. Oh, God. Had to crack my back. What's your favorite moments of justice for characters a piece of shit who thought they're invincible? I mean, Berserk kind of has those hands down. There we go. Arcade Obscure, $2. Remember Romans buried their head in the sand? Yeah. Or cases of ancient wars having similar symptoms similar to PTSD, if I remember correctly. Well, yeah, because I mean it's a phenomenon we've always had. We just didn't know about it. Where it was, you know, strenuous or fucked up events that happen in front of us leave a lasting impact on the psyche. Ugh. Tolkien had multiple important contributions to the English dictionary, honest to God. Yeah. I mean, he was a full-blown professor. Like, he was a very educated guy. Oh, shit. Ow. Human mind never changed. Yep. Okay. Immediately start rushing for the other guys. Motherfucker. Come on. It turns out saying a lot of fucked up things can genuinely harm your mental sanity, which does make the insanity of the internet make much more sense than I think about it. Well, yeah. I said this for a while, where I think, like, the obsession with calling out, like, anime fan service stems from almost a sort of, like, cultural PTSD people have had with pedophilia, where stuff like the Kiro leaks and now the Goon Clown leaks, but they're just symptomatic of it. They're the most recent example of it. Have, like, fucked people up and made them realize this shit is a thing and they need to watch out for it. I mean, people were aware of pedophilia all the way back in, like, God, for a long-ass time, actually. But, you know, it's these recent years with the obsession over it and everyone canceling each other over it, I think does stem from almost a sort of, like, cultural trauma. Not to sound like a lefty with, like, my generational trauma, but you know what I mean. Everyone all around is a little too aware of it, and now they're looking for it everywhere, and they're realizing it is fucking everywhere. Like, I think Medicare actually talked about it when he was on PKA, where it's like, it seems like anytime you find a hole in the internet... Ah, motherfucker. Anytime you find a hole on the internet, there just always seems to be pedophilia fucking somewhere. I would very much like to be done with this fight. I would very much like to be done with this fight. Apparently Jeff Keighley may have said the N-word on Game Awards. Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah. Fuck you. My opinion is children never growing out of their fear of getting caught by their parents watching naughty things that justifies no mom is not what it looks like. I definitely think that's part of it. But that's more of like just pretending to be upset about fan service in general. I'm talking about specifically the pedophilia aspect of it, where everyone's trying to go like, well, don't you know that character is 15? And it's like, who the fuck cares? Like, their voice actress is 60. Every community on the internet's like a cheap bar. You're gonna find something you don't like eventually. Yeah. I think a lot of it's nihilistic one-upsmanship. They freak out about pedophilia, but a lot of them don't even know what CP is, and they think of poorly age gap relationships between adults. Yeah, that's definitely part of it. The narcissistic, like, just propping yourself up, scalp hunting. It's like, well, if I fuck you over and accuse you of being a pedophile, that means people will pay attention to me. And it's like, yeah, thanks a lot, dickhead. You ruined that guy's life for what? Momentary advancement of your career. They seen people watch Euphoria. Euphoria, Game of Thrones. It's like, yeah, they know they're getting into stuff like fucking Riverdale. It's like, they know they're getting into stuff themselves that's pretty fucking, eh. Saw that video of the dude blowing up his house with tannerite. The one that was on the news in, like, DC. Yeah, that was nuts. Ferris Megon, $5 pretty much. There's a video floating around on Instagram and Twitter of some white guy wandering around Akihabara and purposely seeking out Loli to be mad at. Yeah, it's like, dude, you are doing this because you have a financial incentive in getting people angry. They call you a pedo, then go to unironically watch Big Mouth and Cuties. Yeah, right? My go-to argument is if you clapped at the bare fucking scene in Baldur's Gate 3, you have no right to criticize my love of anime boobs. That's very fair. It's like, oh, so what makes this different? There's usually always some bullshit excuse.
He turned us into fucking killers!
Tenma, Pippa, and Leah watch Beetlejuice Wonderland on stream. It's great. Yeah, they liked it. Which I'm like, you know what, good. They proved not all women have bad taste. It's worse than calling you a pedo. Some of them will actively send CP to people, like what happened with the indie dev a few days back. That is true. I mean, that was explicitly an organized trolling group gunning after a fucking game dev and spreading CP to fuck with them. But that kind of just leans into more of the general phenomenon of some people get so fucking Discord-brained that they genuinely forget the larger implications of what they're doing. Where it's like, dude, spamming gore and CP to people to fuck with them is not just haha internet hijinks. That's like legit kind of fucked up. It's like, if you're going out of your way to look up child porn to send to people, you are a fucking pedophile. Like, you are a criminal. The fact you know where to get child porn is like, dude, that's not a joke at that point. I don't have much time. The paralysis is really fucking annoying. Ugh. There we go. I'll kill the other one. talks just make me sad. Yeah. Your Honor is for the meme. But that's the thing. People take that too far, where they forget, like, okay, but, like, actually in reality, though, don't fucking send child porn to people. Like I said, it's a thing where these controversies crop up now and again, where it's like, oh yeah, this Discord group, and it's like a bunch of kids and they're sending CP to people. It's like, dude, the fact it's not clicked that you're not supposed to do that. I mean, the big oh, we're gonna fuck with them way back in like 2014 or so was swatting, where like everyone would fucking swat people, and that turned into, oh yeah, some of the people they swatted actually got shot and died. Like there is a moment where you go like, okay, let's not let us not damn it. Okay, so that doesn't work. Affairs Mega on $5. I think the goal is to drum up mobs, get Western laws passed, and try to force Japan to ban it if they want to sell anime manga in the West. Oh yeah, absolutely. And here I'm gonna. Because we cap out at 50, so let me see if I can fuck with the numbers here. All we have to do is get past the quest. That's all that matters. Maybe I can turn on like a buff for it or something. How long until some of these troll groups experience mass arrest for containing CP? All it takes is one guy leaking them. Okay. Nah, I can't. Fuck. Okay. Well, here. We'll go back to the timer. And all the while, I will look around to see if there's any merchants or anything like that I can buy shit from. I generally fucking hate Japanese media so much, it's actually sickening how biased they are, especially the game journalism side of things. Oh yeah, and I say that's something to call out, where it's like, hey, I get it, you think it's super cool to like, it's like, man, fuck Japan, you know, oh yeah, you know, stupid wannabe weeb smelly shit. It's like, dude, if you want to be like the, well, I never cared from the get-go, that's one thing, and a lot of them double back on that when you actually start to corner them, but when you point out, hey, why are you, you know, someone who claims to care about inclusivity and racial tolerance and all this shit, talking about Japan as if they're a bunch of, like, fucking backwards savages that need to be corrected. It's like, it's a nation that's far older than American standards, so maybe you're not really right here. I see. This is the problem. Let me take a look if there's anything more to pick up. For one, I'm going to repair all my shit, because we kind of... It's not necessary, but it's, you know... Have you ever did Rising Psycho? Some of the ones in 2 were pretty fucking good. Seeing as Discord autoflags and deletes all known CP images, that leaves 2 awful implications. Either they're nude from underage siblings, or they're people that are minors and those are their nudes. I really would rather not think about that. Like, motherfucker, you hate JP Media, but literal zoophilia is somehow praiseworthy? Yeah. As stated, I've not seen one motherfucker complain about fan service, and it's not outed that they were into, like, scat inflation or like, you know, jerking off to fucking Willy Wonka, blueberry shit, like, you know, or like a furry dog fucking. Like, I've never seen that happen. Where's Goku? Why isn't he hitting the gritty? Alright. Oh my god, thank god. He's a classic. Yeah, Adam's brother from Off the Record was good. He was fun. A little too gimmicky with the ice stuff, but he was fun. Come on. Wait, Willy Wonka Blueberry what? Don't Google it. Don't Google it. One more DPS. One side, I appreciate Baldur's Gate 3 becoming a beacon of the double standard, but holy shit, I've grown to hate the game because of how jaded it made me feel about the industry as a whole. I don't view it like that. I like Baldur's Gate 3 a lot, so I'd rather... I like Baldur's Gate 3 a lot, so I would rather just ignore all the assholes where they're like, oh, my heckin' wholesome Reddit game. It's like, no, it's a good game. It's a fun game. I genuinely enjoy playing it. Kid swatting is one thing, but posting TP that will go on your record even if you're a minor. Yeah. We almost had it. Remember to cite your sources in your next video. Yeah, that shit. Want to go back to the times when Wonder Bread guy was most outlandish fetishist. Spotting is still a felony too. Yeah, well they had to because it straight up resulted in people getting killed. Like cops would show up and they'd blast people. And I mean, you can argue all you want of like, well, that says more about the cop. It's like, but don't create the situation in the first place, you know? It's like, don't create the situation where they're going out to somebody's property in the first place. I shall dub a new internet rule the blueberry rule. If there's a character they have art of them inflated as a blueberry, I would really, really, really rather that not be a thing. Yee. I'm gonna report him. Yeah. Yeah, he's offering to queue up as boss. Yeah, that would be helpful. That would be helpful. Because I'm at this point, it's like, yeah, this is the part of 14 that gets frustrating. Mandatory party shit. How dare you speak those cursed words into being? You need to accept the cops are just like that. That means the swatters knew they were like that and sicked them on someone for fun anyway. That is true. If you operate from the angle of like, well, cops will kill people, it's like, okay, so that's attempted murder. Remember that green text the dude who met Gene Wilder at a convention and talked to him about the blueberry thing? Poor Gene. Poor Gene. The thing I find annoying about Baldur's Gate 3 is that Twitter progs only see his character as the twink vampire Dom, but outside that he's a real fun character. Astarion? Yeah, Astarion's great. Like I said, it's doing my totally platonic we're just friends playthrough of Baldur's Gate 3. It is genuinely good how you are able to be just friends with the party. I mean, it'll try to like lean you into situations here and there, but you can easily get out of them and just be like, no man, no, I don't like that, and you can still enjoy them as characters, you know. A lot of BioWare-esque games, the games that are very obvious trying to be like, remember the romances in Mass Effect, would just shove you straight into them and give you like no time to learn about characters beyond that. Didn't care for Will. Will shall affectionately stay in the category of all right, we forgot about Will. No smash, I came here for adventure. And like his voice at the beginning, a bit too flowery. Maybe he gets his moments later. He does. But the moments where he gets like pissed off at you or anything like that, like there are certain situations to where you can kill him, like leave him to die, blow him up or something like that, resurrect him, and he'll have dialogue where he's like, "You motherfucker!" It's pretty good. The only two romances Karlach, who I love as being she's a teddy bear, and Shadowheart because British. I like Karlach. Karlach is the embodiment of, oh god, if this was made by BioWare, she would be like so fucking annoying. She would be the one that they would make you desperate to think is the coolest thing ever. But she actually is like pretty fun. She's actually a pretty natural character with how they play her off. It's like, yeah, I enjoy her. I just read the Gene Wilder 4chan post. Holy shit. You can get a sex scene by accident in Mass Effect because it's so damn cryptic and there's something, sometimes no hint where the discussion's heading. I don't think he meant Mass Effect, I think he meant Baldur's Gate. Because that was an issue in, like, post-launch Baldur's Gate. Like, just come out Baldur's Gate. It's been patched where it's pretty obvious now. You dropped a fucking building on me. Funniest line I've seen. Yeah. Main cast in Baldur's Gate 3 is one of the few casts in RPG I like that enough that I do want to romance them. Or don't. I don't know. The fucking heart is in the way. Or I don't want to romance them. Yeah, there you go. BioWare's planning on making a new Mass Effect. Let that sink in. Yeah. That was supposed to be a punishment, you assholes, not a fetish. Roll doll. Yeah. BioWare's still making another Dragon Age. Who asked for it? Yeah. Wish YouTube would get rid of that dumbass heart. Or at least put it in a different place. Because it's like actively just in the way of the chat. Oh, clicked off. So the tiefling isn't cringe. She wears she swears like a teenager for my traditional fantasy setting. It's never anything that's too bad. I mean, yeah, she's vulgar, but she's supposed to be like the barbarian archetype of the party. Oh, fuck, I forgot about Will Tower Falls. Fun fact, Roald Dahl was a fighter ace, shot down 6 planes in his career as a fighter pilot. That's pretty cool. No, but you gotta have the reaction emotes. You must be like TikTok. Hardicon makes messages so hard to read. Like, come on, YouTube, it really does. Oh my god. Well, I had to wait another 30 minutes just because one guy was absent when the party is found. I know, right? Roald Dahl was 6'6". Holy shit. Yeah. I'll go to the Golden Sausage Guild sometime. Yeah, right. We go back to journeying on the whale. Because one motherfucker. I'm very much in my camp with this game of if it's required for a main story quest, have it be bots. Like, you can do it with real people if you want, but have an option for bots because waiting in queues like this fucking sucks. And I get the whole idea is, well, you have unrestricted parties, so you can just go in, overlevel, and you know, kick ass. Have it just be bots. Have an option for bots. Even the enemies sometimes forget Will's there, or they just player focus so hard to tell. Yeah, fuck it. Let's just start. Let's start clearing out the hunts. Fuck it. True, they might have the trust system for bosses someday. Yeah. So, Western Thailand, the Footfalls. So, yeah, around here. Final Fantasy 14, the worst thing about this MMO is teaming with people. Ironic. Yeah, right? What was the Shin Megami Tensei that had the one MC early on get gored, gored at the beginning in one big demon orgy? I don't know. Ugh. Oh, wait a minute. That's for Pugilist, so we can't even do that. Fuck. Canis, Conjurer, Thaumaturge. Oh my god. So we can't even do this shit to level up for fucking Gunbreaker. Oh god. So I'm pretty sure this is final battle. Giten Tensai, okay. Just do what most people do when they wait. Go to the Golden Saucer and gamble like you're trying to win big at the Ninja Casino. You know what? Fuck it. We don't have anything better to do. Golden Saucer it is. Not some people want to bang robots. I notice you keep trying to ask questions about robot sex, and at that point, that's just on you. I don't see why we have two druids be able to be recruited when there's no recruitable bard, sorcerer, or monk. I mean, if we're talking about Baldur's Gate, I mean, Gale's a sorcerer. But yeah, it's like no bard and no monk. Don't go through. Give me a sec. Nora Vanguard for $1. Hi, spreadsheet guy here. The spreadsheet is 2 years old, and I was already planning on making an updated one. So when it's done, I add everyone in the Discord. Yeah, there you go. I need a second opinion, Lolly boy. You don't want an opinion. You want affirmation. Gale's a wizard. Not gonna lie, I don't see the difference. Alright, let's do this. Oh fuck. Yeah, we gotta buy chips. Let's go with the should be run the entrance. Where are we now? There we go. Does there obtain magic through study? Sorcerers have magic heritage. I don't see any difference. Magic's gay. If so, would we really reach a future where most men would turn to sex power instead of real women just have, or is that just some dystopian fantasy over exaggeration? I kind of see it as like what we have today, and it's okay. There's repairs, but like people who get like mannequin dolls and pretend they're their wives. It's like you're always gonna have people who, you're always gonna have people who are the outlier and will do shit like that. But by and large, human instinct dictates that no, you find an actual living being person, and you. Here we go. Let's do. Yeah. Find a living, breathing person and make a family with them, you know? And then niggas in Rome fucking statues, not new. Exactly. So yeah, but sorcerers are people born with magic, while wizards are people who study magic their entire lives. In terms of gameplay, sorcerers gain magic bloodline powers, wizards get more spells. Eh. That's not even anywhere near what I want, you asshole. There we go, okay. I just want to be sure. So it's only going to let me do 100 at a time. What's your P.O. box? You need an auto clicker? Damn. Yeah. Let's do this. Fuck you. I'm not allowed to go into a casino and turn all my money into chips. Like, that's not realistic. Come on. At this point, I'd already be comped with a free room and sushi. Magic allows you to destroy armies with the war of a hand, which to me is pretty cool. Okay. You're that nerd drawing himself in like the cloak with lightning out of your hands during lunchtime. Then all the cool kids smack it out of your hand and go fag. Have you ever considered making a dual monitor setup just for chat? I do. I do have that. Alright, let's do this. Yeah. Oh, okay. Unlimited power gets smacked in sobs. Alright, okay. There we go. We got 10 MGP from it. Okay. I assume the little red thing is like the more valuable prize because it's hard to get, so let me do a little bit above it. That also might have been a little too off. Or it could just be a trap. Could just be like a trick. It is a casino. Take it from the guy who framed the FF15 car mount. You gotta know what you're gonna want to do the weeklies, dailies for the golden saucer. Oh, okay, there we go. So it has to be slightly above it, like the Moogle is going down and grabbing it. Okay, so yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now every degen is going to want to go full Pygmalion and get their own Galatea robot wife. People still gonna want flesh and blood wives. Yeah, well, it's natural human instinct. As much as we want to deny it, we are animals. So these are obviously the low-stake games. Let's go down here. Play Barbarian, tackle Mage Twink into River. Mage Twink can't breathe, therefore can't cast spell. Barbarian win every time. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I assume it's... There we go. Yay. I just want violence. Just crowning around, okay. Let's go do that. I just want to meet, I just want a cute girl that likes anime. What's so hard to meet? Art girls, are they all at college? You don't want an art chick. Art chicks are psychos. Okay. I think this is the Fall Guys crossover. It is, in fact, the Fall Guys crossover. Oh my god. Okay, so over there. There's an anime this season about time-traveling Bishoujo otaku. She went back to 1998 and made a modern game that altered the course of history. Yeah, I heard about that. Like, it was, specifically, it was, like, how to make visual novels or something like that. Because she was, like, a visual novel junkie, and then cut to the modern era, and visual novels aren't really a thing anymore. I mean, I say that. They still come out, but a lot of it's, like, irony novels in the West, but Japan kind of moved on to just fully turning them into gacha games. So full disclosure, I have never played Fall Guys. That was one of the meme games I never even touched. I've asked him about Berserk. I don't know why you needed to ask me to ask me. He's like, yeah. Looks so gay. I mean, it's the art style of Fall Guys, so. Fall Guys is the wipeout shot, but with more death. Yeah. I know what it is, I just never played it. Bunny Girls entered hell. I know this is one of the party games where you could really fuck people over, and that's kind of what got it to be popular. Fall Guys came to Final Fantasy. I feel like Fall Guys is a fun turn your brain off BR. Yeah, I know I got popular. I just never fell into it. You will fuck the Fall Guy slop. You will not. I remember seeing this in Final Fantasy lore. It's a tie-in. There's a promotional tie-in. See? I was trying my best to avoid it and be like, no, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it. Now here we are. Because one asshole left the queue for the fight. Blame that one guy that made it to where we couldn't fight Ramu. Bishoujo games getting so popular in the US that Jap companies moved there and created an LA alliance. Fate's still a thing, but different in Akihabara and is no longer the otaku place. Yeah. Not a bad game, but man, I'm exhausted with the completely fake over-the-top fear react streamer nonsense. Yeah. Why didn't you play this? I just never did. I guess we'll join a show. Okay. Okay. So. Oh, okay. We go over to this chick. Yeah, sure. Fuck it. There's one other guy here. I assume he's also a streamer, also showing this to people. Did I not? Collect MGF in exchange for fabulous prizes. Well, it means, like, Oh, okay. So I'm already part of a duty. The Lego bonsai tree is done. All that's left is the base. Check Discord real quick to see fate. Well, I mean, I know. I believe you. I believe that it moved to Los Angeles, yeah. See, I'm trying to get to it, but now Discord wants to do that thing where it's like, oh, well, we got to update you on all your messages. So I got to find the fucking ping. There, yeah. Yeah. So I guess we're doing this. What's up? No one plays this. We have 2 players right now. I will. I will wave. See, I was polite. Why does that have to be California? Why of all states in that godforsaken country do they always choose California? There's no VC. You're all alone. Oh. Miss half the hype of the event by a measly month and a half. If I had it my way, I would have never touched this at all. Wait for like an autistic freak trying to socialize. Force Fortnite, now Fall Guys. Loli, you sell out. The Final Fantasy 14 tie into Fall Guys. Would you fuck the Silent Hill nurses? Bad idea. They're the embodiment of sex and death. Alright. Yeah. Fuck. Alright, so I immediately failed. Turned on auto run and that bit me in the ass. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Oh, fuck. I like to chat. So, like real women. If only you could use the whale. Yeah, right? Oh, nope. Okay. So, I kind of get it. Yeah, I kind of get it. It's, It'll start forcing you to move in the direction it's pointed at. So, okay, no, it will just straight up. Okay. Now I got no crown. Does this even exist? What does Square Enix even get out of this? Money. You sandbagged? I had no idea how to avoid that. I'm just going to leave the show. You're bad at this. Like I said, I had no idea how to get out of like the... Because I thought at first, like, okay, so it's a trap in case you use auto run where it'll force you to move in directions. Like, oh shit, okay. And then it turns out it's like, no, it'll force you to move there. So it's like, okay, so I imagine you have to like hit the opposite direction. So it forced me to move left, so I've had to hit right. Not gonna lie, not a big fan of this one. Eh. I will try. Please get me out of here. I got my PSA Jackal yesterday. Finally got my budget ACR. Yeah, there you go. I think the reason why Rickard was able to slap Griffith is because Rickard believed he could hurt him. I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's he just didn't see Griffith as a god. Like, he only saw him as Griffith. We're gonna be stuck like this for a little while. Key to Fall Guys in games like this are its physics engine. 14 doesn't really have one. Yeah, I mean, it's just meant to be a little bullshit mode for a crossover event, but it's like, yeah. I don't play 14 to do acrobatic shit. Do they have a blackjack table anywhere? You can play that. Yeah, let's try that. Seems like the Bill Clinton kid was at the Game Awards and was served a notice of trespassing warning. Dorito Pope seething. Rickard really said he ain't shit and he still ain't shit, yeah. That scares how Guts not perceived Griffith as the god hand when he saw him transform firsthand. Well, it's because he saw him transform. Because he saw him transform and do all that shit, he can't not think of him as the god hand. Yeah. So it's just a lottery. You watch the Game Awards? No. I knew it was just gonna be corpo slop, and it's like, eh. Who cares? I'll wait for the trailers to be uploaded. Yeah. They won't even let me kill myself here. Speaking of Berserk, I've gotten endless barrels of laughs at people having sour grapes over Berserk video. Complaints are always copy and pasted. Yeah. Is there not even any blackjack? What kind of casino is this? Yeah. Ah, damn it. Off. Firmly believe pirating AAA games is a perfectly moral, acceptable thing to do. AA and indie, bitch thing to do, but AAA, go fuck it. Go for it, fuck the big corpos. All around, it literally just amounts to what your opinion on the company is. If you think they're unethical and pieces of shit, you have the right to not buy their product. Can I do this with space? Maybe space, because click, I feel like I'm a little too slow with it. Okay, no, it has to be click. There we go. Ah, that one's off. Ah, that one's also off. There we go. Yeah. Ah, slightly off. Some of the F14 worlds have been crashing. I know I got booed off at Mentosi a couple hours ago. They have been doing maintenance. Only interesting thing trailer is GTA 6 and wasn't even during the Game Awards. Yeah. Ugh. That's on Loose Owl? I have no idea who that is. Fun fact, the Vikings would love the story of Berserk, noble strong guy fighting literal gods and a plot that revolves around causality. We're close to what Ragnarok means, culmination. Maybe. Vikings nowadays just let Muslims rape their girlfriends, though. You bypassed it? Bypassed what? Eh. Oh, there's a punching thing. Trashman isn't here, not enough gambling. Okay. There we go. So is it... I imagine you have to hit a dead center. Oh, okay. Is it dead center or when the meter's all the way full? Lou Sasso was a setup for a joke. I have no idea. So yeah, it is more center than... Yeah, okay. There you go. When he's streaming War Thunder, I will not play the fucking boomer gotcha. Ow. Yeah, probably John or PewDiePie. Talking about H-Bomber? I don't know. It's hard to tell. I stated the recent shenanigans was due to the totally not, you know, collusion cancellation of the one dude. And going after PewDiePie now that he's like left the internet, I don't know, that seems a little digging for a well in a desert, you know what I mean? Lou Sassel sounded out. You know, so much better than the real ones. Went to Caesars up in Canada, and yeah, depressingly no cards either. Just boring slots. Drank so much free juice. If I remember right, I think this place has like triple triad in it. So that could be pretty cool. I think it's over here. People never stop going after PewDiePie. People were attacking him on Twitter for drawing. Yeah. Because he was literally just like, hey, I'm going to teach myself how to draw. And apparently he's not doing too bad at it. Okay. That's the basketball game. Maybe... You know, casino opened up near me. I went in one day and it was nothing but fucking slot screen. It also had horse racing. Well, there you go. Yeah, slots suck. They aren't fun. He's doing really well for only doing it for a month. Well, you know, he's putting time into it. It's he said he literally started doing it like what 20 minutes a day, and he just kept up with that habit. So he's getting better. Horse racing is great. I do like horse racing, yeah. Drawing is such a fun hobby. Draw to boobs. You can make money off it. Don't go into it wanting to make money off it, but you can. Remember the DashCon vid? That really pissed off the Twitter ghouls. The fact they're pissy about that like 7 years later, it's like, what? Like, yeah, everyone knows DashCon was a fucking scam. They took the money and ran. Dressed up for the casino. It was a family trip. Everyone in the casino was just in normal and trashy clothes and while depression was in the air. Dude, yeah, like I went with my family to like Churchill Downs. My mom and dad were all dressed up and they're like, oh yeah, you have to. You know, it's a real formal over there. It's real formal. And I went there and like the first dude I saw was like a big fat guy in a fucking Hawaiian shirt. It's like, hey, you sure about that? Furry, well paid, loads of money, being seriously. He probably read Drunk on the right side of the brain and similar, so he knows how to think about it. That is true. Some people are just naturally more inclined to it. I'm going to lose my fucking mind here. I am begging you. I am begging you. I am begging you. I am begging you. Chat, we're not gonna. Oh my god. I was about to lose my fucking shit. I was about to lose my fucking shit. Like, oh my fucking god, that was hell. Tags, mind break, and then Lolly DC. Like, I was stuck in that casino. I was just trying to find Triple Triad. Welcome to the After Hour MMO experience. It really be like that. It really be. Wouldn't it be funny if the server suddenly got taken down for maintenance? Oh, you spread that evil on me. At least wait for the fight to be over, you motherfucker. Yes, go target the bad guys. Go target the bad guys. Go target the bad guys. Casino Purgatory. Yeah, fuck it. No, let's target him. There we go. Oh, fuck. I don't know if it's going to be a full wipe, but it's not going to be fun. Okay, there we go. Commissioner Art Bro drop Bunny Girl the homeless sign reading. Will do sexual favors for party members instead as Thursday thumbnail. That would actually be kind of funny. Not even going to lie, that would actually be pretty damn funny. Like show the bunny girl like holding a sign. Your view count would go up. Ignore mechanics and burst the boss down. Only correct way is to play DPS. You can only play DPS because guys like me are waiting in the fucking queues for you assholes to show up. Dashcon's SJW's other Gamergate. Ugh. As much as the Dashcon story is funny, Rainforest will forever stick in my mind. Where that was like furry autism to a degree that needs to be studied. Where it's like these people were in public and doing things that like made a hotel ban them forever. We'll give ear jobs for party members. Full diapers. Didn't even want their money, yeah, right? It's over. It's over. The drugs, the diapers, the property damage. Made hotels in the entire state, yeah. Progression. That better be impressive. I was sitting around in a fucking casino for almost an hour. I played Fall Guys because of you, you motherfucker.
The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not.
And the next quest will require another hard dungeon.
Service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone.
Find it funnier they made the guy who spread their actions around like the bad guy. Yeah. It's like, hey, don't be fucking autistic and mess up hotels for everybody. It's like, well, how dare you expose that? You made everyone think we're terrible. It's like, you are terrible. That's why you got banned.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Assyrians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Imagine what furries would spend their money on something else besides being degenerates. Oh my god. It's finally over. It's finally over. We can turn the quest in. It's finally over. This is a whale flight of victory. Lop-ear supremacy. There we go. Next is the CBT dungeon. As long as I can get a fucking party for it, I don't care. And the laugh of a nearly broken man. Upside, the next few quests should just be a batch of cutscenes or something. Can one get this whale nowadays, or is this from a event or shop? It's from the item shop. You gotta spend money on it, but it's a cool whale. Birds are so weird for long periods of time. They can be quiet and convince everyone, well, they aren't that bad. Then things like Rainforest and Kuro happen. Yeah, right? And it's not even a thing of like, as stated, you know, there are crazy people in every group. So usually whenever something like that pops off, people go, well, I disavow, that's horrible. And people make it more about the individual who fucked up than anything else. For a good reason, because yeah, you don't want to judge a group of the extremes. With furries, it's almost always, like, anytime any of them get in trouble, it's a sign of, like, larger issues with them, where they're always connected to, like, multiple people. And they're always like, oh yeah, they hung out with this guy, and they went to parties with this guy, and then you find out about like, yeah, furry conventions can have rooms that are like hidden away and not allowed to be like filmed by the public, and there are rumors that like it's basically rooms that they fuck animals in. It's like, it's always shit like that. It's always like signs of a larger organization that is very much not a good thing.
Returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse.
Oh, let's fight one old man who can shoot lightning acts like he has spent 6 months in the Psalm. It wasn't even about the fight, it was about getting to the fight.
I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramu ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell?
Yeah, historian could have talked about an interesting time in internet history. All he did was talk about making jokes. What a waste. Yeah, it's like, well, he could have went in so much more depth about it. It's like, oh, so he could have made it like a 5-hour-long video. He said everything he needed to say. Brevity can be the soul of wit. Not every video needs to be an hour long.
For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the alliance...
You should have killed the caveman that wanted to fuck the mammoth.
Self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy...
Told a girl brevity is the soul of wit. She was not very impressed by it. I mean, it's a common saying.
Eorzea must be as one.
These people never grew out of high school, did they? Yeah, well, they're impressed by just long video, which is ironic coming from me, but you know.
On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for...
Did Destiny get cucked by a random Swedish man? Yeah. And apparently the guy, like, threatened to kill himself if his wife didn't divorce Destiny.
Have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramu has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest.
A Swedish guy? Really, Destiny? The Swedes are cucks and he still loses to Swedes.
What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
A gay, suicidal, effeminate Swedish man. Which is a leg up from Destiny, I suppose. Yeah. Can we agree that open relationships never work? Like, seriously, what gets some of these types to cheat and agree to open stuff? Well, it's just hedonism. You know, it's chasing short-term carnal pleasure, which actually kind of relates a lot of Destiny's philosophy and politics. It's like he's a lefty, but he dips into like that type of Lobert at times, where one of his more infamous clips is going like, Well, obviously we need to not allow the production of child porn going around, but you can use the child porn that already exists to help pedophiles, because then they won't want to rape kids. And it's like, he only thinks about it as like momentary, second-by-second satisfaction, and not about like longer-term implication. Like another famous one was we should carpet bomb Mexico to take out the cartels, ignoring all the consequences of if you just carpet bomb a nation. You ever think Geppetto molested Pinocchio? See what I mean? But like, there's like cultural trauma with pedophilia. It's like, no, I do not think Geppetto ever wanted to touch Pinocchio that way. Pinocchio from Liza P was at the Game Awards. I couldn't believe it. He became a real boy.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Urianger, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected...
He did in Family Guy. Yeah, Family Guy's not canon. I can't believe I need to say that.
Unwelcome though his presence was,
Started playing Liza P, it's so much fun. It is, but it's pretty easy to break. Stick the wrench head on the baton stick and boom, you beat the game.
To whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
As with the leftist one in the US go to war with Mexico. You have to understand, as stated, they're driven by second pleasure. They don't actually understand why the US getting involved in another violent conflict will be a very bad idea.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence.
Devs nerfed that. Nerfed it, but it's still pretty fucking broken.
In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent...
Now instead of taking out a boss in one hit, it takes him out in 2 hits.
Elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Yashtola...
Never forget Destiny as a preteen son, which he neglects hard. We talked about that earlier. His son is getting... His son is definitely starting to show that he hates his father.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Yashtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our discoveries, it may
Oh god, Destiny had a child in an open relationship? Yeah, ended about as well as you thought. Who's hotter, Keisan or Shibuya Kaho? Let me look up who Shibuya Kaho is. Yeah, she's an AV star. That makes sense. Not bad.
Realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams...
Not bad, but you can kind of tell she's caked in makeup a little bit.
'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls.
Who's your favorite South Park character? Cartman's kind of the easiest one just because he gets so fucking over the top. But also, I love Butters. Butters is just... Like, God, the shit the show puts him through. Kaho Shibuya does a great cosplay of Uzaki. I did see in the pictures her, yeah.
They must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their
to be fair, Destiny had the kid when he was married. To shit on him even more, he got divorced and moved to Cali when he became a lefty. Yeah, and he just explicitly just, like, left his son.
Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather,
thoughts on Emi Fukuda?
And the energy of its shattered spirit is
or Aimi, I don't know how to fucking say her name. Okay, so another porn star. See her, okay. Pics I'm seeing here. Yeah, Fukuda is a lot hotter than Kaho. Like, face-wise, Fukuda is a lot hotter than Kaho. Kaho is bigger, you know,
They exist
appendages,
all their own.
but Fukuda is prettier.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
Love how Butter says these moments where he absolutely snaps and becomes even more of a psychopath than Cartman. Yeah, those are pretty good.
Not upon the death of the flesh.
Have you seen the video Internet Historian made with Quentin Reviews? He deleted it.
Of life everlasting.
Quentin or Internet Historian? Because if they collab, that had to have been a while ago, which it is well known that, yeah, he nuked some of his older videos.
No suitable host for it to claim.
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm,
Appendages, damn well, they're not that big. They're pretty big.
an immortal would venture there.
Shibuya Kao is a former Java actor. She will actually get mad when people keep bringing it up, similar to me, like Khalifa.
Unto the shore
I mean, I understand that. It's like you want to move on, and everyone just reminds you were in porn, but it's like, come on.
Yes, it exists.
And tell me J-Cup is at least proud of it.
Abiding instead.
Whether or not she should be proud, it's another debate.
The Asians took control of Thancred by means of
She isn't natural. She had a lot of plastic surgery. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'm just gonna assume you're talking about both.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
Kind of the consequence of taking that path. Yeah.
I am sorry, my friend.
I think Destiny would destroy himself like Monkey. Oh, yeah, he's done it multiple times.
the weary road of our research.
Like all of the people who currently are like top dogs at Twitch have ruined their lives in more ways than one. They just persevere beyond it.
Possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus,
IH did delete some of his He Will Not Devise videos. That makes me sad. It does make me
we
sad.
could entrap the spirits of defeated Asians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection.
Yeah, but she keeps the same name as her jab. What does Kaho expect? Yeah. You can be mad at people bring up the fact you did porn, but guess who's at fault for making porn?
Thou art most perceptive.
Kaho's actually likable, unlike Mia Khalifa, and is natural. I mean, Mia Khalifa is a bounty on her head by multiple Islamic terror groups. Understandable.
Within an ethereal prison, can we hope to defeat its
I have a buddy who went through something similar with a local porn star for a while, and that's all people knew him for. I think he cried a lot about it whenever he got drunk. Yeah, that shit leaves scars on you. It does. Much people go like, "Oh, sex work's real work." Nuh-uh. There's always that voice in your brain that makes you go, "Fuck, I should not be doing this." Because you go against your programming.
The pieces of the puzzle lie before us.
That's not to be all like, "Oh, porn should be banned" or anything like that, because it does feed into human desire, and it's just will always have a market for it. The point is, it's for very specific personalities that understand they're dipping into something that they're probably going to regret 50 years later.
Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I always liked Wendy. She was the Lisa Simpson in South Park without being an actual bitch or smarts about it. And depended. Some of the more overtly feminist episodes of South Park, she gets kind of preachy.
Beg pardon, antecedent.
But that's literally her role in the show, so.
Final matter. Even now, a Sharlian
especially Emmy or whatever's written, she was a 4 before, then she had plastic surgery and became a 9. Well, there you go. The pics I saw were all, like, from, I guess, her Instagram, so I imagine there's probably a shitload of filters involved with that. And yeah, given enough time, plastic surgery pops. Like, it will eventually be seen as like, oh, fuck, yeah, that bitch is 50% plastic. Bang the sauce, just become prohibition again. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't like all the wannabe, like, trad religious people going like, oh, don't you understand? Porn rots your brain. It's like, dude, it's like any human vice. It requires moderation, and it will always exist. You know, there are some vices that are very much just about the individual making their choices. Gambling, drinking, smoking, stuff like that. Porn. Then there are vices that are specifically designed to chemically fuck with you, which is where you get into hard drugs like, you know, morphine, methamphetamines, and stuff like that, where that is explicitly trying to get you addicted. The other stuff you can argue as well, but the point is individual choice comes into it, and unless you are physically, medically addicted to something, dude, just have a little bit of willpower. mean, porn does rot your brain if you don't moderate. Any vice that's taken too far rots your brain. I mean, you fry out your dopamine receptors. I mean, hell, the whole thing with porn is it's the idea of, masturbation is tricking your body into thinking you're mating. So your dopamine receptors go into fucking overdrive because mating is the ultimate good boy thing animal programming wants you to do. It wants you to spread your genes and secure the next generation. So if you abuse that over and over again, you're going to end up frying your dopamine. Just don't jerk off for 8 hours and you'll be golden. Exactly. I never want to live in a world where Hitomi Tanaka was too afraid to do her films. I think it's being sex positive in the meaningless kind, but like everything else, don't make it your entire life. Well, yeah, that's basically what it amounts to. It's like, there is a line to where you are, like, the social contract is a thing, and it goes both ways. You want to be left to your own devices, you should be allowed to. That also means you have to leave other people to their devices. So society shouldn't be allowed to come in and dictate what you can accept, what you can tolerate, what you think is okay. And at the same time, you shouldn't be imposing what you think is fine on the rest of society. You know what I mean? Arcane Studios announced they're making a Blade game. Also, Twist Metal got greenlit for a second season. Yeah. With that line, work on a Jap chick. Hey, babe, I'm afraid my dopamine receptors are the first thing I've seen to kick them back on. I'm just going to click through it. Will you ever play Final Fantasy 14? I might. Tall bunny. Yeah. Like other addictions, porn's free, so it's easily accessible. Debatable. Because just because something doesn't have a price tag doesn't mean that people won't ruin their lives trying to get it. How do I pick up a Jap single mom? Don't be autistic. My go-to saying is, it's my life and I choose how to use it. As stated, the social contract's a very delicate balance. You know, I'm not like a full-blown lolbert of like anything goes, decriminalize all hard drugs. It's like, no, because there is basic common sense and understanding that goes into a lot of this stuff where it's like, and a lot of it does change when you have kids. You know, I don't have kids, but I understand how people flip that switch and all of a sudden societal issues they never gave a fuck before, suddenly they're having like anxiety dreams over. It is an actual instinct. Because once again, once you know the next generation's secure and you have your kids and your heir is all that, you start worrying about their future. You know, it's like, hey, you know, what if something happens to them? What if they have to deal with this? What if they have to deal with my problems? You know, once again, it's basic human instinct. You become worried about the well-being of your family. So whenever I see people go like, oh, well, legalize all drugs because it's up to the individual to make those choices, like, you're not wrong in principle, but in practice, that's a horrible idea. Because normal, everyday, average Joes don't want to live next to meth houses. They don't want to live worried if their kid's going to be shot by a drug dealer. They don't want to live worrying if their kid's going to become a heroin junkie. You know what I mean? There is a line to where you're supposed to go, okay, let's let common sense dictate this. And there is common sense about it. You might view that as, well, that's just my opinion on it. I think it's pretty objective. My opinion, when something starts to mess with your daily life or your relationship, then it's an addiction. Yeah, pretty good standard. There's balance between roles and freedom. Both are important. Balance is the key to everything. Even the founding fathers knew that. Like, the problem we have right now isn't that we need to go into complete anarchy. It's that the people right now don't want to choose between anarchy and freedom. Like, they're waiting for it to collapse and explode and be all like, oh, my accelerationism, and let the totalitarian thing kick off, let the riots kick off, and then they're just going to wait for something to somehow get better after that. It's like, no. Like, accelerationism is funny to think about if you're like 17 and you just getting into politics and you're just getting into the state of the world and all that shit. Then you actually think about it and it's like, hey, this can affect people I give a shit about, so let's not do this. You will live next to that drug dealer. You will ignore him shooting your child for the sake of diversity. Europe. Yeah, right. I mean, hemp literally makes things highly resilient we don't want in our markets. And that's not really what I'm talking about. Like, stuff like hemp and THC, it's pretty mild. That dips into basically like, well, what about alcohol? That also affects your judgment. Funny enough, apparently there are signs in California. I think it was like San Francisco or one of the major cities. One of the Discord bros talked about it. They had to put up signs telling people to stop smoking weed as they're driving because it's causing accidents. Because, yeah, it's the exact same thing as, like, drinking while driving. You are taking a substance that impacts you and your ability to, like, you know, be coherent to the world around you as you are driving. That's a fucking terrible idea. That is something to where it's like, no, that should be banned because that's driving under the influence. Like, you are just being a selfish dick. I actually saw that in downtown LA. Yeah. As someone who's tried and still do some hard drugs, I don't want it to become legal, nor do I want people trying drugs. Exactly. Shit's bad. I always laughed at people that vehemently claimed weed had zero effect on driving performance. Yeah, that's bullshit. It's like, I've been high before, motherfucker. I know how that shit feels. I've driven while high, and I hated every second of that shit. Like, that's how I know it's a horrible idea. It's like, yeah, you know, Weed Bro has, like, brought over weed cookies before. He smoked with us, and I smoked, and it didn't affect me at the time. And it's like, fine, fuck it. I guess it's just not going to hit me. So I get in the car and start driving, and I know where it hits me. I'm like, fuck, this is terrifying. Let's not do this. Smoking weed while driving gets other people high too, not just the driver. Well, yeah, I mean, that's if you're riding with other people. Go far too many potheads while working, then I know that shit makes your brain to goop. Oh, yeah. Because they literally want to be high all the time, and it's like, dude, at that point... Much as I like porn and horny stuff, I would never want to have that stuff out in the middle of the street. How I still get disgusted by think about the naked cyclist from the gay pride parade. Yeah, there is a level to where they take it too far and it's spoiling it for everybody. I think probably the best show that's ever handled this kind of debate of like, well, at what line is too far was It's Always Sunny, where it was like the smoking episode where they wanted to ban smoking in the bar, and so Mac and Dennis went like full blown anarchist level. All rules are gone. Do whatever the hell you want. And then with Frank doing like fucking Russian roulette in the basement. It's like there is a line to where it's like, okay, is this really the kind of culture we want to set up? I mean, we can make jokes about it, and it's like, oh, haha, based, you can buy guns from vending machines. And that's something I will be like, hey, listen, that's just an American right. But there are lines where we understand that the average Joe just trying to raise his family, just trying to keep his wife happy, just trying to deal with his kids, doesn't want to worry about some jerk-off robbing his car or like trying to break into his place or anything like that. They want peace and quiet. So they will go with any law that will bring up peace and quiet Potheads are easy to control for the government. You're not wrong. Everyone's depressed and they're looking for their soma. Inventing machines that give guns, not wielding machine guns. Imagine buying parts to build a nuke and a vending machine. If you know how to build a nuke, you kind of deserve the fucking nuke. So Frostpunk? Frostpunk is more just outright dystopian, where it's either hyper-religious zealots or full-blown Nazis. Every time someone wants to even smoke cigarettes with me, I go and explain why smoking is dumb. Yes, I know, I'm a hypocrite. Yeah. There we go. Oh. I guess I whipped his ass. A Boy Scout can make a nuclear bomb in his shed. Anyone can make a bomb. Yeah. And that Boy Scout made a nuclear reactor out of smoke detectors and get to keep it. Okay. There we go. Cigars are cool from time to time, plus it raises testosterone by 10-50%. That is true. Makes your dick bigger. Is a nuke just a uranium bullet being fired through uranium barrels or more to it? Nukes are expressly trying to set off a radioactive chain reaction that builds up a shitload of energy and then bursts out. Because that's the explosion. It's all that energy being released all at once. So, I don't know. It would really depend on, like, the specifics. And even then, I'm not 100% sure of, like, how it really works to begin with. All I know is you're firing particles against other particles in the hopes that it causes enough of a chain that it just makes a shitload of energy that will burst out. Wait, seriously? What makes it bigger? Testosterone. Testosterone affects penis size. Yeah, splitting an atom to set up a chain reaction for spicy air. Yeah. Smoking cigars from time to time makes your equipment bigger. Raising your testosterone in general does. So, you know, cigars from time to time. Fucks up your heart, though, so there you go. Asparagus. Exercise, things like that. Yeah, blood flow. Yeah, getting good blood flow. Good cardio. That's why you don't abuse steroids, because your body can't produce testosterone that affects your junk. Fucks up my heart? Perfect. Well, yeah, it's nicotine. Nicotine will fuck up your heart. Even if you don't inhale it, because cigars you're not supposed to inhale. But it's like, even if you don't inhale it, nicotine in your system fucks up your heart. Losing weight also makes your dick bigger. That is true. Remember some Twitter brains decided Lalafels were pedophilic? I agree, we need to ban Lalafels. No more Lalafels in 14. I do long distance running, hope that helps. Oral cancers as well, yeah. Nicotine constricts blood vessels, yeah. It's kind of the trade-off. That's why you're not supposed to smoke them every single day. But I play Lalafell. Banned. Stop getting baited by the Master Lalafell race. Banned. Jenna, like halfling aesthetics over Lalafells, but Lalafells are fun to bully. Dick has a hard limit to its maximum size. You don't get extra inches magically. If you lift, it gets harder and can swell a lot more on command, but it's not magic. Well, yeah, it comes down to genetics, too. Yoshi P plays Lalafell. Why do you hate him so? Banned Yoshi. Bully Rabbit Tomboy. You're saying my dick could be bigger? Yeah. Recently watched Channel Awesome film reviews. They're great, but I do feel sorry for all the shit you put yourself through. Chat, stop trying to make your dick bigger by smoking cigars. Not gonna work. Yeah, there's more factors that go into it. Because the idea of the cigar is it just helps boost up testosterone, which apparently is actually a thing. But you also gotta exercise, you gotta eat asparagus. Natural ways to boost up testosterone. Being a grower is nice. Basically, your dick goes from Shrimpy Bruce Banner, then goes Hulk Smash. They're saying there's a chance. Eh. Yeah, red meat. Yeah, red meat too. Lose fat. Yeah. Honestly, I believe in losing control and trying things. I'm trying things now that I'm in my 20s and then melt down with age. Always keep a handle on it. Always keep a handle on it. You will appreciate your discipline as the years go on. To those curious, fat doesn't just cloak the penis, it forms a ring around it that pushes the testicles up, testicles out, while keeping the penis close to the body. That's what causes the shrinking. Yeah. And like morbidly obese cases, it literally creates like a fucking like barrier where the dick completely like shrinks into it. It's fucking weird. Did you see the BBC put out an article saying the Black Death was racist? Yeah. What can I eat on asparagus? Because I can't stand what it smells like. Well, I stated, look up just natural ways to boost testosterone. Ignore supplements. Supplements are bullshit. Cold water also causes shrinkage. My friend George Costanza told me that. Dick armor. No. I'd say look up the pictures, but you don't want to. Yeah. You can get hard faster with good health and blood flow, and also bust way harder if you eat right. If your dick has great performance and you're healthy, but if you can't get it up, then you get your shit together. Yeah. I know Doctor Who made Sir Isaac Newton black, so they're still doing the usual stupid. Yeah. The funny thing is seeing there was a guy that went like, man, I can't believe people are this upset over a fictional character being race swapped, and everyone fell for it, and it turns out the guy works for The Onion. It's like, you know what? The first time The Onion's made me laugh in a long time. Good on you. I know I shouldn't be proud of the fact I tried hard stuff and didn't become addicted to them. Is it nice, though? Yeah. At least you didn't get addicted, but that still is like, that's territory where you'll never see me there. It's like, no, I like my boring regular life. It's like, oh, so you wouldn't make it on the streets. It's like, no, I do not see why that would be a good thing. It's like, yes, I will call the police on you, good sir. You are making me uncomfortable. Favorite dinosaur? T-Rex. Gotta love the T-Rex. Loli gives penis-sized advice and encouragement while playing Final Fantasy Bunny Girl. Well, the ending stop making funny stuff when reality got way funnier than fiction. Yeah, basically. Alright. And it's like 2 a.m. here. I think I'm going to call it. We finally got past Ramu. We finally got past Ramu. All the agony, all the pain, all that waiting. We finally got past Ramu. So I'm going to call it here. I am tired. Yeah. There we go. Move back to the main screen. It's like, oh my god. That was hell. Not even gonna lie, that was hell. Waiting in those fucking queues. That was pain. I resorted to the goddamn Fall Guys collaboration. It was that bad. It was like, oh fuck me. Good stream. See you Saturday. Yeah. Whenever I went to detention during 2020, which was often because I didn't do shit, I just read the ending because they couldn't take my laptop away. Now how am I gonna do my work without it? Oh man. Okay. Remember that Onion Future News skit? Yeah. The Fall Guys were the friends we made along the way. Is Shota gonna stream tomorrow? As far as I'm aware, he's gonna stream, but he's gonna call it around midnight because that's when he has to call it to get some sleep for work. As stated, his schedule got completely fucked over because one of his coworkers fucked up and lost his license. So you hear Sega's finally remember their old IPs like Streets of Rage and Crazy Taxi. Yeah, Crazy Taxi could be interesting, but like, yeah, you have to have the music. Crazy Taxi without the music, I mean, like, what's even the point? Are you solo streaming on Saturdays? As far as I'm aware, until confirmed otherwise. And I'm almost finished with the script for the Gintama video. Maybe about like a few more pages on it, and then I can get started on that. And I hope to get that done before Christmas. I think before Christmas is a good deadline. Maybe even make it the Christmas video, like schedule it for that. I think that'd be good. I think that'd be very good. So, yeah. I think it'll be a ton of fun. Yeah. Jet Set Radio. Applied for a security position at a hospital. They were legit shocked at a driver's license. Shota Kyle. How the puppers? They're doing all right. Iggy's getting sneaky. She likes to hide, and we like scramble to try to find her because we don't know if she got out of the house or something. Then she'll just pop her head up like nothing happened. It's like, you little dick. Oh yeah. What dog breed would you want to be if you were Isekai? I wouldn't want to be a dog. I am a man. Midnight in U.S. time is when you stream on Saturday, right? No. Well, I don't know about any other time zone, but Shota has to call it at midnight because that's when he goes to work or gets some sleep so he can go to work. So it'll start whenever he starts, maybe like 7 or so. He's talked about doing it earlier. Then he's going to call it at midnight. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how much does Shota want to kill that guy for fucking up his schedule? They're buddies, so maybe only a little bit. Crazy Taxi not having that one Offspring song is heresy. Yeah, right? You gotta get the Offspring for the soundtrack. How do we know that you could be an intelligent parrot? How big he gets dog nabbed by a Vietnamese individual. Knowing her, she'd probably just, like, bite off their fingers or something. You can get yippy. She loves beating the shit out of Winston. Like, Winston is, like, just fully... I don't know if the term is, like, whipped, but she definitely lets Iggy do whatever the hell she wants. How long until you start hunting women? That's the real question. I was one of the people who ship Yukari and Mitsuru. I've unironically heard people say works in canon. I'm tired of pretending Twitter Persona fans are people. I mean, I don't really give a shit. Buck broken. Iggy asserts dominance. Streets of Rage game they showed looks like it's gonna go the way of that weird Final Fight game. Huh. Add a pupper, kill one of the most venomous snakes in Australia, and casually wrap it in a bow and place it in front of the window. Little bulldog Staffy. He comes home with a full human arm and casually munches on it, asserting dominance over Winston. Alright, I think I'm going to call it here. Yep. Thanks to everybody who showed up. It was pretty good time, we are now free of queues for a little while, where we don't have to worry about queues for a little bit in 14. I can't wait for the next one to be even worse. But, yeah.